The real United Kingdom should the English go back to Germany. Gully says, wait, I've heard this. The Brits are originally from Germany. It's actually the English. There is a big history in Britain. Britain itself was subjected to lots of invasion and lots of immigration. And the English, the Anglo-Saxons, are actually from Northern Europe. They're not from Britain. And it's strange to me that English people think that they can dictate the land. And they've historically done this. They have shown massive disrespect to Celtics who have been there for thousands of years beforehand, people from the Belgica clan. So really, humanity goes back actually to about 12,000 BC from what I can research, when you had the Neolithics and the Mesolithic period. Then you had the Belgica in 2400 BC. The Celts were about 1000 BC. The Romans were 43 AD. And the English didn't come way later till 450 AD. Then you had various invasions from the Vikings in like 8th century. Normans were 1066, and briefly France in the 1700s. So that's kind of like a brief history on the people that live in the UK. But it's always really interesting, I use that word very loosely, that English people, the newest group of people to the Britons, are like, we're going to come here, we're going to rule everything, and we're going to tell everybody what to do, and we're not going to integrate, we're going to change everything on this land for people that have been there for thousands of years, and we're going to dictate to you how we want you to live. So it's really interesting to me that they've actually been like this as people. And I think generally they're showing, and have continued to show throughout history, a severe lack of compatibility with Britain. And so that's why I ask my question now. The real United Kingdom, what does that look like? Does it look like we should actually send the English back to Germany? Africa, how are you today? Africa, are you there? Can you hear me? Can you guys hear Africa? Oh, I can't hear Africa. Yes, now I can.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you now, yes.
Yes. I think you make a very interesting point. And I think when you talk, because I think with all the anti-immigrant further that's going on in the UK, you would think that the people calling for like anti-immigration, like you would think that they would be indigenous to this land, but they're not.
They're not.
And I always think that, hey, man, if you're calling for remigration and everybody who's not from here to go back to where they're from, are you booking a flight back to Denmark or Germany the same way I'm going to book a flight back to Africa?
Right. The same people that are calling for immigration. And the scenario has come specifically from the English. We weren't hearing this from the Irish. We weren't hearing it from the Welsh. We weren't hearing it from the Scottish. We're hearing it from the English. So then it makes you think, well, why are immigrants and invaders telling other immigrants to go back to where they come from? It's incredibly ironic, right? I got my dog out. Come on, go. Go on. Go. Goodbye, see you later. Bye. I heard you. Okay, so we're back. I don't know why I can't hear you, Africa. Yes, carry on.
Oh, can you hear me a bit better now?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I think if we're being petty and we're keeping like my parents came here as legal migrants with the permission of the British government. How did Anglo-Saxons get here? If we're keeping score.
That's the thing. They always say illegal and migration, all this stuff. But they invaded everywhere else first and then put laws to say you can't do what we just did. Now it's illegal for you to do exactly what we did, even though we took the legal routes, like you say. Legally, we took these routes. If the laws were there, they would have been illegal immigrants, all of them. All of them would have been illegal immigrants because passports were only, and we talked about this yesterday, passports were actually only introduced in the East India Company for the elites. So people like King something or other, he was the person that actually created the passport. So everybody else actually couldn't travel as freely as the 1%. And actually nowadays it seems like the passport is a little bit of a privilege, but it's always funny, isn't it, Africa? Because our passports are well used. But these English, they ain't go nowhere with the passport. Half of them can't even afford a passport.
Also, Fox, like, also, if we're keeping score, like, the accusation of like going into a place, erasing the people's culture, and putting and systemically marginalizing them. The only group of people who have done that in the UK are English people,
Yes.
because it's the English people that went into Wales, that unalived their last king, that banned Welsh for hundreds of years. Like that's not us.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Everything else.
English.
It's not any of us.
Like you only have to speak to a Welsh person. You only have to speak to a Welsh person for them to tell you their long history of oppression.
Right.
Like we didn't do that. I feel like the accusation, when you look historically, the only people that have done that is you guys.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like it is such a sad state. Well, not a sad state, but you guys who have been here regularly, and you guys can hear Africa, black and brown people now, especially, we're advocating for the Welsh, the Irish and the Scottish. Who ain't advocating for you lot? The English. They don't advocate for anybody except for themselves. Like, people need to really understand this. We're very clued up out here. We know exactly what's happened in the history. We're decolonizing. A lot of black and brown people now in the West, we're decolonizing. And we're understanding where we came from. And we're actually understanding what happened on your island before we even got there. We're understanding the shit that they were doing to you lot beforehand. We're getting it. We're getting it. So please, all of you English and all of you Welsh, Scottish and Irish who are like, yeah, for the union, yeah. It don't come from you. It comes from your oppressor. You are still doing the work of colonization. You're literally leading to your own oppression still. You've already been oppressed, because how many of you still know your native languages? Hello? How many of you out here, Scottish, Irish people, are you speaking your Gaelic? Are you speaking Gaelic? Are you? Welsh, are you speaking that? Are you? And yet you still want to go hard for the English. Yeah, English, Anglo-Saxons. No. Alan says,
it's not,
just
it's
one
not,
minute.
it's not
Alan in the section says, trust me, us Scots have been trying to go independent for some time. I'm aware. I support you. I support you. Africa.
not just black and brown people that are stopping you from having another referendum. It's successive British governments who have told you, shut your mouth. You're not getting, whether it's Tory or Labour, shut your mouth. You're not getting nothing. What am I telling you the same? Shut your mouth. You're not getting nothing. That's not us.
Exactly. I was hearing from.
You don't get a referendum.
Yeah.
It's not us that's telling you that.
I was hearing from Scottish people a few days ago saying that they were essentially bribed with the Brexit vote. They were told, if you stay in, then obviously we will. What is it? Something to, because of course they've got all the oil reserves, right? Scotland is incredibly rich. In comparison to England, Scotland's got all the money. It's got all the reserves. It's got renewable energy. It's got amazing things up in Scotland. Also, they've got culture. I have to say, they've also got culture. And I think there was some kind of bribery or some kind of threat to Scottish people saying that if you leave or if you don't vote independent, you will still have the benefits of the EU. So I'm not saying this right. I know I'm not saying it right. But then, of course, when Brexit happened, the Scottish were like, hold on a minute, you told us that we would still be in the EU. And of course, no. And then around the same time, or whenever it was, the independence vote, they still didn't get the benefits of what they were supposed to get. So now, of course, we saw the elections 2 weeks ago that the Scottish have said, right, it needs to be Scotland first. SNP got the massive majority of seats. Wales have showed the same thing, Plaid Cymru as well. So again, people are now starting to understand, actually, do you know what? I think English. People is actually the problem. They are the problem. Right, I'm going to bring in Droog now. Droog, how are you today?
Good morning, you're right.
I'm good. Have you got something on there that you want to show on the screen?
Oh, you know I've always got interesting and funny facts.
Go ahead, Droog.
Feel free to put me big. So
Yeah.
I was looking this morning because I saw the topic, and it turns out that on average, English men are only 27% Anglo-Saxon. I think Lurk. I think I've upset Lurkio in the comment section.
Oh,
I think
well.
he self-identifies entirely as Anglo-Saxon.
Well, the funny thing is, you bring up that statistic, but the one I find the most interesting, and I've mentioned it before, is the average UK DNA. So, have you looked at the average UK DNA?
No, that's what this one is. This is what the average UK DNA. No, the English DNA is.
Yeah, you're talking about the average English. I talk about the average UK.
Yeah, because Oh, okay. Go on then.
Yeah, so the average UK DNA, let me change the layout back, is to this one. And then we put
It's my
here.
feet, look. It's my feet, look.
Thank
It's my
you.
feet.
Okay, so the average crazy. The average UK DNA, okay? So let me turn the camera around. I always love this example because it always seems to upset them the most. Anything that makes the Anglo-Saxons upset gives me joy. So let's turn this around. This, again, you put into Google, average UK DNA, every single same chart comes up, okay? Every chart is the same, but I use this one because this is from ancestry.com, okay? British Anglo-Saxon is 37%. Celtic is 22%. Western European, French and German is 20%, 9% Scandinavian, 3% Iberian Peninsula, 2% Greek, 7% other. And if you look at that and understand the chart correctly, you know the Anglo-Saxons came from Germany, Denmark, and Netherlands. And you've also got the 20%, which is France and Germany. So like I say, the Anglo-Saxons, the English are mostly German. They're mostly German. They're mostly German. And the funny thing is, again, is that everybody always says, oh, the royal family from Germany. You're from Germany. You're from Germany. You're from Germany. Yes, Droog.
So I then Googled what percentage of DNA humans share with other things. And it turns out the average Englishman has got more in common with yeast than he does with Anglo-Saxons.
Yeast. That's absolutely hilarious. Do you know what? Even today, I was thinking about Anglo-Saxons and actually just white people in general, because I was listening to Kiss FM and they were having there's something called shower conversations they have, and they're talking about certain things that happen, and they mentioned head lice, right? They mentioned head lice. Head lice, everybody else doesn't get head lice. It's only white people that get head lice. You get lice in your head and nits. That's. I don't think people understand this. Why people understand this? Yeast and lice. Guys, what?
I think like one of my favourite things about right wingers, particularly these silly bigots that want to self-identify as a completely different ethnicity, is that if I go around self-identifying as a woman when I was born with a willy, I'm just described as absolute nonsense and an absolute idiot and a danger to children and a beast and a monster and an absolute nonsense speaker. Yeah, these guys are wandering around self-associating with something that they've got more commonality with yeast. And I'm just like, do you not see yourself self-identifying as something that you're completely dissimilar to, and yet you then criticize other people for self-identifying things that you think that they're completely dissimilar to.
Yeah. Well, remember,
It's really quite wild how thick some people are.
well, we know about cognitive dissonance now, don't we? We know about this. We know about how people always, and it seems to be English people a lot, accusing others for the things that they do or the things that they don't do. And it is very, very strange. I don't know why people in the comment section are telling me to go back to Africa or saying I'm not African. I mean, what? What's wrong with you people? Honestly, what's wrong with you people? The fact is, as a lot of you know, I don't even live in Europe. I left a long time ago. I don't live in the UK. I don't live in Europe. Is that all you have to say? The topic here is about you and your ancestry. I know where I came from. I know my history. You guys don't. And on that note also, so I'm going to bring in Matrix in a little bit, but I think on this topic of understanding where we all come from, right? And the English don't know where they come from. I think we should do a citizenship test because, as we know, history in the UK has very much been changed a lot. There's not a lot of realness about what's happened historically. I think there needs to be a citizenship test for English people. Just English, because they're the ones who actually want to deport everyone, like we're saying. Everyone, they're like, get out, get out, get out. Well, why don't we test the English to see if they actually belong in Britain? I think that would be a good test. So why don't we all do a test right now, guys? Because I got 4 questions. 4 questions for the English, for you proud Anglo-Saxons who are here, who are part of the send everybody out. I'm going to ask you some questions to see if you actually belong in Britain, right? Question 1. Everybody who doesn't get this right, you're on the deportation list. Why? We got some people who came up on panel and all of a sudden they've disappeared. Have you ran away from the quiz? We had a few people up there, now they've run away. Since I've started to ask some questions, they've run away. Let's see who's going to stay in the country. Let's see. Question 1. How many people did the English unalive in the 190 years in India? If you get this right, you get to stay in Britain. If you know your history and you know your lineage, you know your ancestors, you get to stay in Britain. Right, Droog, have you got an answer? I'm going to Droog first and then Hamlet, you go next.
I'm most.
Droog? Droog? Are you there? No.
What part of London you in, darling?
So let's go to Hamlet. Hamlet, do you know the answer?
I'm thinking it was over 6 million.
Over 6 million. Okay, Lurkio, same question to you if you didn't hear it.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, it's how many people did the English unalive in their 190 years in India?
Oh, many as possible, man. That's why you're still in London, isn't it? Listening to Kiss this morning, babe. Why are you fake, man? What you hiding from, babe?
Why is she fake?
Oh,
What?
babe. You got quiet on me.
Wait, Lurkio.
I'm
I
listening
saw,
to Kiss FM this morning, yeah?
I saw
I
you
can
in the
speak
comments.
like that, yeah?
I saw you in the comments.
You're
You said,
crying,
this
man.
African's English.
Who's this? You're a
is
white
good.
knight, bruv. Relax.
No, hold on.
You're a
Your
little
English
guy
is
on a
terrible.
So
Labrador, man.
Your accent's terrible.
So I asked one question. The question is how many people have been unalived? And it
She
was
thinks
actually
nothing of you,
100,
man.
and it was 100 to 165 million. So if you didn't get that right,
Who
unfortunately,
cares, man?
you are on the
Who cares,
deportation list.
like? Who cares,
Yes.
man?
Unfortunately,
That's
on the
history.
deportation list. So you didn't know your own English history. I did, of course, drop that person because they weren't able to answer the questions that I was asking. Some people apparently don't know about.
Fox,
Some people
a
don't know.
lot.
1 minute, Hamlet. Some people obviously don't know about international radio and tune in FM. You can't listen to international radio stations in other countries, apparently. Somebody thinks I'm in London. Okay. You know what? I don't like playing this game, but also I will play the game. Tell me where in London this is, guys.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so
That's
tell
a
me.
beautiful house.
Thank you so much. Tell me where in London I am right now. Where is this?
Wow.
Where in London am I?
Wow.
Yeah, can someone tell
You're
me?
in
Can someone tell me where
you're
in
in
London I am?
Essex.
In Essex. Okay, I'm in Essex. Is it good weather in Essex right now to jump in my pool?
Jesus Christ.
Is it? I'm in London. Does this
Yeah.
look like London?
No, it's not.
No, it's not London. And also, I'm a bit lower down, but basically that's the sea there. Behind my bushes that I've grown up high for privacy, that's the sea behind there, right? That's the sea behind there. So,
This is why
Yeah.
a lot of them are jealous.
yeah, exactly. So they're trying to tell me
why
that
a lot of them are jealous.
I'm in London. Fox is in London. Fox is in. She's somewhere. She's still living in Bradford. She's in Brixton. Please, let's get back to the quiz, shall we? Let's get back to the
Look,
quiz.
Fox, a
Yes.
lot of, I think a majority of people in England don't know their own history, right? An immigrant who's done life in the UK test, they know more history
Yes.
about England than the English people, right? Because the life in the UK test are sort of things you need to know to be English, sorry, to be
Yes.
British.
Yes.
And a lot of citizens here who are native, they don't know this.
They
In
don't
their own
know.
history, they don't know that. They don't know how they were colonized by the French.
Hello,
On their
good,
courts,
good
on
morning.
minute.
their
Please,
courts,
wait.
they had to speak French. They
Yeah.
had to speak French in their courts. So when they mock all these other Saxophone countries like Congo and Mali for speaking French and colonize, well, all are doing it. The French did basically colonize your courts, and you had to, if you wasn't Christian at one point in history in England,
Yeah.
you would not be allowed to work in London in the high courts. etc. You had to be Christian to be a lord,
Yeah.
and this, that, and the
There's
other. And
so
you're
much they
right by
don't
saying that the
know.
majority,
There's so much they
yeah, the
don't
majority of the
know.
people from Germany,
Yeah, there's
100%.
so much they don't know. So we're going to go to the second question, okay, guys? If you want to be able to stay in Britain, you have to be able to know British history, of course, as part of citizenship tests. So here's my second question to especially the Anglo-Saxons amongst us here. What is the youngest age English people contracted their own children into slavery during the Industrial Revolution? What is the age of the children that were working in the Industrial Revolution, that were enslaved? Motta says 8. Hamlet, do you have a guess? Liam says
I
2.
think it was 5,
You think
right?
it was
5, you can go
5?
down the chimneys.
Thank you. Buzztech, do you have a guess of an age? Do you know the age, Buzztech?
I mean, it's probably 4, 5, 6.
4,
I
5.
mean,
They were
I don't.
relatively quite young, yeah.
Yeah,
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 Posh,
about 4, 5, 6.
4, 5,
Okay,
or
but
6.
I mean,
Posh girl,
yeah.
what's your answer, please? Posh girl?
I'm the same. They were relatively quite young for 4 and 6.
Between 4 and 6. Thank you. We've got the blue at the top, the blue beast. What's your guess, please?
Around 6.
Around 6.
Around 6.
Around 6. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. We've got various guesses as well in the chat. It was 4. Okay. So you had your own 4-year-old children enslaved during the British Empire. Poverty was such a high rate that adults had to contract their own children up until the ages of 21 to the British Empire. And a lot of people who were also kids who were orphaned then got put into workhouses, and then workhouses would actually sell those children back to factories. I talk about the child abuses that was actually happening during that time, the ways that they were actually killed through the machinery. It's absolutely horrific. And when people talk
It's
about the
shocking, but if you research
1 minute, please
Black
don't interrupt
Death,
me.
you haven't understand.
I will introduce you, please. While you guys are on my panel, some of you haven't been here before. I do introduce you one at a time to speak. People in the comment section need to be able to hear each one of us speaking. So please wait, and I will bring you in. At the moment, we're just doing a quiz, and then after we'll have a conversation, please. Thank you. So I've mentioned previously about the atrocities of the Industrial Revolution, and a lot of people aren't willing to actually look and accept of just how atrocious that time was. So please go and do some more research about the Industrial Revolution. So some of you are able to stay in the country, and some of you, I think, are getting on the plane for deportation because you didn't get the answer right. Right, next question. Third question. How much wealth, stolen wealth, have the English been living off of? And the number is in trillions, okay, guys? The number's in trillions. Give me a guess. When the British Empire was actually doing all their stuff throughout the world, how many trillions did they steal? Hamlet, what's your guess, please?
Again, I'm going to go with like a 6.5 trillion or 160 trillion.
That's a very big, wide guess. What's
Well,
the
I mean,
number?
I think I'll go with 6, right?
Okay, 6
But
trillion.
I think yeah, but alone from India, I think they took 6 million or trillion. So I think that's why I went to 160,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
As a collective.
Okay. 160 you go to. Okay. Buzztech, what's your guess, please? How many trillions?
I hope it's about 15 trillion. I hope
15
it's about
trillion.
15 trillion.
Thank you, Buzztech.
I hope it is. Probably more. I hope it's more.
You hope it's more. Did you say you hope it's
Yeah,
more?
yeah. I did.
Okay. You hope it's more than 15?
Yeah, I hope it's more.
No,
Okay.
it's obviously an awful. It's
Posh girl?
it's out of this world.
What's the number?
Trillions.
Do you have a guess of a number?
Well, I say I got 3 trillion.
3 trillion. Okay, thank you. Blue Beast, do you have a guess, please?
Not enough.
How many is that? How much is that?
Oh, that's so disrespectful. You shouldn't say that.
Whatever the amount was, it wasn't enough.
Okay,
So
that's not
it's
really.
50 trillion.
50 trillion. Okay, 50. Thank you, Blue Beast. Cookie, do you have a guess, please? How much stolen wealth have the English been living off of? How many trillions, Cookie? Cookie, are you there? Do you have an answer? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Disconnect, Cookie. If you want to come back up, you can. We've got the travelling G. I can't see the rest of your name. Do you have a guess, please? How much stolen wealth have the English been living off of? The travelling on the top panel, are you there? Do you want me to ask you to unmute? I can send you a mute request. I've sent you a request to unmute travelling. Yes, you got it. Perfect.
I would say all of the world's wealth, about 2,000 trillion.
2,000 trillion. Okay, thank you so much. We've got Cookie who's back up, I think, and also Oracle.
Yeah, where I was trying to talk, but I don't know. Someone muted me.
Yes. Do you want to take a guess, please, Cookie?
I'm gonna say it's in the hundreds now.
How many hundreds?
Couple,
So 200
maybe.
trillion.
I want to say like 500, maybe give or take. But that sounds
500
a bit
trillion.
mad.
500 trillion.
Is that too much? I don't know, man.
That's your guess. Okay, 500 trillion. So we've got Oracle
Yeah,
next.
but hey, wait.
No, we don't need to
Wait,
discuss
wait.
it. We don't need to discuss it. We've got other people who want to guess. Oracle, what's your answer, please? Can you hear me, Oracle? Oracle, are you there? Can't hear you, Oracle. Or your signal was really far down. Okay, I'm going to give you the answer. It's 68 trillion, guys. So thank you, Oracle. Sorry, I did the answer. You can
that's
come back
quite
for the
low.
next
I thought it'd
question.
be 2,000 trillion. That's
Yeah,
quite low.
So it's 68
all I
trillion,
wanted to say
guys.
is
68 trillion is the answer. So if you didn't get that answer, unfortunately, you are on the deportation list right now because you're not on.
That's actually
you're
quite
not
low.
doing it.
I thought it'd be
You're
like
not.
2,000 trillion. That's
So
quite low.
everybody who's on the panel
actually
now,
really
everybody
low.
who's on the panel now,
But is this a
please,
history lesson or a debate?
everybody who's on the panel now, please have some decorum if you're able. We don't talk over each other. I've been coming to you one at a time to give you the answers. This is a quiz we're having right now. If you don't want to play the quiz, you don't have to be on the panel. It's very simple. Question 4. This is the English love to claim they invented everything. So, Posh Girl, if you don't like being here, you can be disconnected and enjoy yourself in the comment section. If you think that I shouldn't be controlling my own panel and my own live, then honestly go somewhere else. So the English love to claim they invented everything, even though their ideas were actually all stolen. I think a lot of us know that. What's the one invention that they don't claim, even though the Schmarzies used them to unalive the Jews? What's the invention? Hamlet. Do you know what the answer is?
Yeah, and I think that is the camps, right? In South Africa. They had camps in South Africa first. The whitey people.
BuzzTech, do you have an answer?
Sorry, I'm tuned down. What was the question again? Sorry.
The question was, you can enjoy yourself from the comment section. If you tune out on the quiz, then we literally take up a space for someone else who also wants to play and pay attention. So we've got the blue
You not
beast.
like British
The
people.
blue beast, it's your turn now. Please, can you give us an answer of the invention?
I'm not actually sure.
Sorry? What's that, the blue
I
beast?
don't know what it is.
You don't know. Okay, thank you.
I don't know what it is.
Thank you. We'll go to the travelling next. What's the answer, please? Do you have one?
Christianity.
Christianity. Thank you so much.
That was invented
By the British, by the English. Okay, thank you. Christianity. We got the Oracle next. Do you have an answer, please?
Gas machines.
Okay, so you think sea camps, basically. Sea camps? Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Cyanide.
Thank you. Cookie, your answer, please.
Yo, hey, what? Do you not like British people?
Can you play the quiz or not? If you don't want to play the quiz, then you can drop down to the comment section. Have you got an answer?
No, but I'm not German. I'm Irish and Welsh.
Okay, goodbye, Cookie. You've been dropped. Sam, have you got an answer, please?
Yeah, I think Christianity too, mate. It's the best religion globally, mate. We don't fuck kids like the Muslims do. They're fucking, they're
Okay.
PDF Mohammed.
Thank you so
fucking
much.
PDF.
Sam, you gave your answer, but you've also been dropped for Islamophobia. Joey, do you have an answer, please? Joey?
I was just looking at the top, so then you can
Did
just
you
go
hear
back again.
that?
Yeah,
Okay, let me
just
answer
said
the
it.
question. We're playing a quiz and then we're going to go back to the topic. But the question is,
Yeah,
the English...
sorry, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
The English love to claim they invented everything, even though their ideas were all stolen. But what's the invention they don't claim, but the Schmarzies used it to unalive the Jews? What's the invention?
Oh, that was in the 1890s. It was Tingio camps, internment camps.
Yes.
Tingio
Yes. So
in
those
South
of,
Africa during the Boer War.
yes, so those of you guys who know, actually, yes. I mean, the last time they were used were in the Kenyan Mau Mau uprising in 1960. So not that long ago, guys. The English were using
Yeah, the
them.
Mau Mau in Kenya.
Yes, the Mau Mau in Kenya. So thank you. You know that, Joey. So if you didn't get that,
But it was first used, in the Boer War by the British against the South Africans in the 1890s.
yes,
1880s,
yes.
something like that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Joey, for that extra information. So, guys, this is British history. If you don't know British history and you don't know English history, then why would you be in Britain? Questions. And you know, when you see people talking about citizenship tests, they're asking all these other questions, but are they asking you real questions about English history? I don't know. And my question again is, if you don't understand English history or British history, then maybe as English, you should actually go back to Germany, the land of your ancestors. So we're going to go to the Blue Beast. This is the topic we're going to have today. We go one at a time, as I've mentioned, and I call you one at a time to actually have some comments on the prompt. So the Blue Beast, what do you have to add to the conversation?
So I've got a question for you. Who were the first people in
my question is
the
first.
Isles?
My question first. Please don't answer a question with a question. You can answer the question first, then you can ask me a question.
What was your question?
It's big writing.
Should English go back to Germany?
Yes.
Right then. So we're not from Germany.
Where do you think you're from?
So your question from? So
What do you mean? What do
the
you
first
mean?
people
What do you
in
mean
Britain
you're
were
not?
over 40,000 years ago.
The English people.
So it's 40,000 years ago.
English people are from Germany. Are you denying that? You're denying your own ancestry.
No, they're not. So
Yeah.
so all the people in England are from Germany.
English ancestry traces back to Germany,
So all the people in
Denmark,
Africa
and
from
Netherlands.
Africa.
What's Africa got to do with anything? What's Africa got to do with anything?
Well, that's what you're saying.
The
You
topic
clearly
is
you clearly
English.
hate the English.
The topic is English.
You clearly hate the English.
You're being a bit emotional, the Blue Beast, right? We've just talked about the ancestry. We've just talked about the lineage. Maybe you missed that part. Let me remind you, okay, of the average UK DNA. Should we remind you? Because the
I'm
thing
sick of the
is,
sound of your fucking voice, to be honest.
yeah. Yeah, good. 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 Anything else you want to say? No? Okay, good. I didn't even drop him. It's gone.
Wow,
Anyway,
so low IQ.
yeah, that's the thing. Like, if you don't like history, that's not my fault or my problem. Again, average UK DNA, 37% Anglo-Saxon. Where do the Anglo-Saxons come from? Germany, Denmark, and Netherlands. 22% is Irish Celtic. 20% is West European, France, and German. Then you've got 9% Scandinavian, 3% Iberian Peninsula, 2% Italian Greek, and 7% other. So why are you trying to tell everybody you don't come from Germany when this proportion here tells you you're from Germany, and this also tells you you're from Germany? I'm not there traveling. I'm not where you are. I literally just showed where I am. You guys were saying you're in London. I'm not in the country. I'm not even in Europe. Why are you talking about me? The topic up there says should the English go back to Germany? Yeah, then go somewhere else and talk about me. This is the topic. If you're too emotional and too sensitive to understand the topic, go and talk about me in another live, because that's what you guys like to do. Oh, this fox, go and do that in another live. You can go. Traveling, do you want to go somewhere else? Do you want me to drop you and you can go talk to me?
I'm from Israel.
Do you want me to go somewhere else? Do you want to go? So if you're from Israel, are you in Israel now?
No, I'm not.
Well, then why are you even bringing that up? Why is that relevant? This is English.
Because
so you're
I
not.
think
So you're English.
You're peddling.
So you're English. So you're English, but you're Israeli. But hold on. We're talking about ethnicity, lineage, all of the things that you guys have brought to the table in the conversation. Because we weren't talking about this stuff until you wanted to talk about it. You Anglo-Saxons were talking about ethnicity and lineage and who belongs where. You were talking about this, and now you want to say that you're not from Germany.
You belong in Africa.
It was because you
belong in Africa.
Traveling. Did you hear where I lived? Did you hear where I live? Did you hear?
You don't.
Goodbye. You're dropped. I've clearly said and clearly showed I don't even live in Europe right now. What are you talking about? You guys brought the ethnicity conversation to the table. Why are you talking about me? I'm not even in England. I'm not part of the conversation. You guys who are English don't know where you came from. Right, Oracle. What do you want to add to the topic, please, Oracle? Should the English go back to Germany? Oracle, are you there? Oracle, are you there? No, okay, we're going to go to Joey. Oh, no, Oracle, you're there. Yes.
No, I'm here. I was muted. You muted me.
Yes, you have to be able to unclick
You muted me.
Yeah, you have to be able to unclick your mute button as well. Yes?
I've done it now. I've done it.
Yes,
Okay,
we can hear you.
I think yes, everybody should go back to Germany. And all the blacks should go back to Africa.
Why can't you answer the topic without bringing other people into it? Is that a problem with reading, or why are you so sensitive to this? Why are you talking about Africans? The topic is, should the English go back to Germany? And you said yes. Okay, so Oracle agrees. Oracle agrees that the English should. Oracle agrees that the English should go back to Germany. Great, fantastic. Thank you so much for your input, Oracle. Joey, what do you have to add to the conversation? Should the English go back to Germany? Joey, are you there? Joey? Okay, we're going to go to Orange next. Orange, and you've got
Sorry,
some...
no, sorry.
Oh, you're there.
No, you muted me and I didn't realise I wasn't
Yes,
muted.
everybody gets muted because unfortunately, everybody gets muted because unfortunately, when you run these lives, a lot of people don't know how to control themselves and don't know how to wait one at a time.
No, I do apologise. I didn't realise that I was muted. I'm sorry.
That's okay, please.
The whole eastern side of Britain is the Angles, the Saxons, the Visigoths, the Franks, obviously all come over, and the Danes, and and then you've got the western side. Like, it's only a very small part as well, the western side where we're from, where you've still got somebody. I mean, my granddad was from the Philippines, and he came over in 1948 on a boat and jumped ship, because he jumped ship to stay over here, and it stayed over in Liverpool, married me nan. So on me dad's side, he was from Manila, I'm Dave from there, and my mum's side of the family, like Devon or whatever. But I've never looked back further than like 70. I've never even worried or thought about it, to be honest with you. But I do understand what your question is about things like that, and I genuinely can see why you're asking it. About it, because all, like, the Vandals, as I say, the Vandals, the Goths, and all that who came over, and we are all Angles and Saxons and Danes, and but the question about going back, it's pretty much like now. I am very, very, well, I'm not very. I'm left wing, and it really annoys me. These right wing people who moan about people who come over and get on boats and all that. These people, if Britain wouldn't have invaded all these, this is one thing they don't understand. They talk about, like the Polish Prime Minister, who says we won't allow Muslims in, we won't allow this, we won't allow. Well, Poland years ago never went around the world invading other countries. We did. So we've got to stand up to what we've done in the past, and people from places where we've been and things that we've done. We've got to say, we've done it in the past. They should be allowed in, especially when you look at France and Spain and Germany, who are letting in 5 times as many people as we are, which is, and they really are. And Germany didn't go around the world
everywhere.
I know the Second World War and that.
Every other country pretty much is taking way more immigrants and asylum seekers than the UK. And the problem is, of course, as we know that, but the problem is, though, is that we know, just one minute, Joey. the
Sorry,
problem.
go
So I'm
on.
going to highlight
Yeah,
the problem,
sorry.
and to why people, of course, I think we know why they feel that way, is because they feel that an island of 68 million people, or whatever it is now, feels like it is becoming overcrowded. And as we know, there is a history of oppression within the UK itself, right? So we know, and we've talked a lot about the Industrial Revolution. Of course, I brought up the fact there earlier about in the 1800s that pretty much since then, there has been constant disenfranchisement of English people. And throughout the country itself, of course, you've got the North, which has suffered, and the South, which is thriving. So when you see voting, like we've seen the last few
Yeah,
weeks, right,
yeah.
of the northern towns are all voting for reform, they, of course, want to have some change. They want to have more money in their pockets while voting for millionaires. Doesn't make sense. So, there's been a
Yeah.
lot of really desperate behaviour from people in the North, and I can see definitely there being more of a fracture between the English themselves. It seems to me that a lot of the Southern English people understand the history, are standing up for others, want to be a little bit more liberal in their thinking, but the Northern people are a little bit more, I have to say, behind in the
No,
story, and then they're not going back
no,
to look forward, to be able to look forward.
if you don't mind me interrupting a sec, genuinely, I, I just think you couldn't be. Yeah, do you know, like in the Brexit vote, Liverpool was 70% to remain. Most northern places were all remain.
Yeah.
But what you're talking about, like now, as you just said, the north, and it's not the north. It's the south. The north. The north is where we've always had loads of. I mean, Birmingham, Liverpool, Manchester, Bradford. But Bradford, the whole of the north is where, when people come to this country, that's where they live. That's where they come. And we've always managed that, and we've always coped with it. It's like you seen the marching thing over the weekend in London, and up here where I am in Liverpool, it's all right. You get the odd few people who are, but it's still the same as it was with Brexit. It's still like probably 70% who don't mind it and won't vote reform, would never go near reform. Just because what happened to us during Brexit, that Manchester, Liverpool, the whole of the north was built on European money.
Yeah.
And when Brexit happened,
Well,
it was you've only got to
stolen
look at the
money
map.
from
It
the
was mostly the
empire.
people.
Stolen money from the empire. Let's be
No,
accurate first.
sorry. What I
Money from the
mean is, the
empire.
Brexit. No, the Brexit vote. That was the Brexit vote. We knew we were better off in Europe because we were never getting any money off central government. All our cities and towns in the north, we weren't getting money off central government. It was all going down South London, Surrey, Kent. It was all going down there.
Yeah.
That's why most people up north, Scotland, Wales, everyone voted against Brexit, and it was mainly the south who voted for it.
No, Joey, that's untrue.
Sorry,
Joey, that's untrue, Joey.
It's not untrue at all.
No, it is, because the host is right. And I'm originally from the north, but now I live in the capital. And the north is really behind in terms of just thinking and going forward. And I'd argue to say that the Anglo-Saxons.
No, hold on. You're
majority
saying
of them are in the.
I think what I'm
that's only
hearing,
because
just
you
1
don't
minute,
get
guys.
money.
I think what
all
I'm
the money from
hearing.
central government gets put down south.
Just give me a minute.
Joey,
Just give me a minute, guys. I think I can understand what's
I've only
happening.
got 5 minutes. Can
Yeah, no, 1 minute, Jack. Unfortunately, I can't just skip to you because we've got Orange who's also waiting. So hi, Droog. So I think what I'm hearing, and I think what you mentioned, of course, Joey, is you still mentioned the big cities. You mentioned places like Manchester that's going to have money. If you're mentioning places like Leeds, there's still going to be money. If you mention places like Newcastle, there's still going to be money. So when it's in my mind, of course, maybe this is my own bias towards the North, and the people that have voted for reform, they have obviously had less economic stability. And that's where I'm thinking of in my mind. The old Industrial Revolution towns, they voted literally like how their history has shown what has happened in the country. So that's where I'm coming from, Joey. Yeah, I'm going to move to Orange now. Orange, please. Orange, how are you?
Thank you for bringing me up, host. I appreciate this. I'm not from your country, and I don't know much about your politics, but I'd love to answer the question about those thieves. Basically, they all should go back to Germany. And when I've been to the UK, let me tell you, some of these English people are so rude. They're entitled, so they need to go back to where their roots are.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, the only reason why we're having this conversation is because they're telling everybody else to go back. And it's just an incredibly ironic thing to say. Nobody was talking about any of this stuff before they started to get really upset that they were now understanding finally, oh, okay, I don't have any money in my pockets. Why is that? And you think that it's going to be advantageous for you to send all immigrants home, and you think that everything is going to be solved by that. It's not, because this is a historical problem and it was happening before immigration was even around. So the problem is not going to be solved because the 1% have always disenfranchised English people. And if you're talking about it in a culture, I really do think that they should actually go back to Germany to learn a little bit more about their roots. Yeah. White Jack, what would you like to add?
Just before, I just like to.
Why is everybody talking? Why is everybody talking? I've said White Jack.
I just want to have a quick say because I'm going. Now, host, let me just point something out very clearly. Now, I've listened to your live a little while ago, and you clearly, with respect, have an issue. And this is probably a live about white people. Now, listen, let me say my piece. Now, what you got to understand.
Disconnected, Jack. Don't come here telling me about me. I've literally just said in the very beginning and every single time, I was advocating in the beginning for who? Irish, Welsh, Scottish. On my page, there is a pinned post about the Eastern Europeans. Don't come up here playing the race card because you don't understand the difference between different groups of white people. My prompt always says English every single time. It doesn't say white people right now. Every single time. I'm not scared of anybody's answer. I don't like people making assumptions about me. He said he's literally heard stuff about me on my lives and he doesn't know how to listen. He's not allowed to sit up here and say stuff about me and me to sit there and be like, oh yeah. No. Like I said, if you want to go and talk about me, go and talk in another live about me and make your assumptions over there about me. Don't come to my face and expect me to sit there and accept your assumptions about me. Stupid. Right, we're going to go to now Nomadic Hawk Life. How are you today?
Host, I just want to say thank you so much for having me.
That's
Host,
thank you, Orange. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, man, I'm really good. I was listening to everything that everyone. I was listening to what everyone was, going on about. And okay, so if we was to send everyone back to Germany, first and foremost, we originate from the Danes. So we were invaded way back.
We were Denmark and Germany as well, and Germany.
Okay, right. So if we're kind of talking about our DNA and our where we're from, then we should all leave. Every single person should leave England because none of us originated from England anyway. We all originated from Africa.
Well,
right?
the question I'm asking you. Okay. The question is, should the English go back to Germany? You first of all said Denmark. So do you want to go back to Denmark?
No, because there'd be no one left. There would be no one left. Like if you.
What do you mean no one left?
Well, because there'd be no one left.
No, the Celtic. So the issue is, right, let's talk a little bit about history. So the Neolithic and Mesolithic period was about 12,000 BC, right? So there were people in 12,000 BC in Britain, right? Then you had the Bell Beakers, and I've got some people here who actually have Bell Beaker lineage. This is Beth, shout out to you, 2,400 BC. Then you got the Celts, which of course is the Scottish, Welsh, Irish. Those people there for 1,000 BC. The Romans, even after, I don't think there's probably anyone with Roman lineage, maybe 43 AD. Then you got another 400 years later to the Anglo-Saxons. So these are the newest group of people to the island, but dictating how everybody else should live. That's what doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And then, of course, after you had the Viking invasions in the 8th century, and then you've got the Normans, 1066, and then the French briefly in the 1700s, kind of just before the 1800s. So it's the newest group of people. It's the newest group of people are trying to dictate what happens on an island that they're not indigenous to. It is pointing out the irony of such conversation.
Well, it's not the irony, and no one wishes for people not to emigrate to this beautiful country of ours. We are concerned with what ideology that they're coming over into our lands with.
Nomadic.
I mean,
Nomadic. How
if
many?
I'm,
How
no,
many?
no, no,
How
wait a minute.
many? I have to pull you up on the ironic things that you're saying and the contradictory things that you're saying,
No,
right? So
it's
you
not.
said,
No.
Nomadic, you said people come to the UK with their ideology. What ideology do
Yes.
you think that you spread throughout the world?
What ideology do I
Yes.
spread throughout the world?
Yes.
Well, I don't travel through 16 safe countries.
How many
along the
countries?
way to reach England.
How many countries did the Anglo-Saxons
Yeah.
travel safely through? How many?
But they were finding new land to, populate on.
How many countries did the English safely travel through and then spread their ideology? How many?
You've got me on that one.
She hasn't, because you're using modern migration compared to.
I know, and she's more kind of versed in
171 countries. Okay, this is what we're just talking about. Is the irony of the conversation, the hypocrisy of the conversation. Why would you be worried about anybody else with other languages and other things that they're doing when you did it way worse than everybody else? Like we say, it's because you have your own fear of what you did coming back to you. That's what you fear. There's no chance of this. The fact that I'm hearing that we're being genocided. What? You English people think that there's a genocide? You think that's what genocide looks like? Wow. You think that this is ethnic cleansing going on? Wow. This is what you actually think is going on? Truly? This is crazy. This is really crazy.
You've muted me because you won't let me talk.
No, I let you talk.
You've muted me because you won't let me talk.
No, you're allowed to talk. You're
Right
allowed
then,
to talk.
thank you.
You're allowed to talk.
Well, thank you for giving me the right to talk. Thank you so much. So, you're saying, should everyone...
Wait, host, I think you skipped me, though. You skipped me, I think.
Who's talking?
Right,
Hamlet.
look.
Oh, sorry. Did I not ask you the question, Hamlet? I thought I asked you.
No, you didn't.
I'll come
See,
back
look,
to
you
you
just
after.
skipped straight past me because you know that I'm on a sensitive issue. You don't want to be voiced on your platform. And that's why you're trying to shut me down.
1 minute, please. No, Nomadic, you're allowed to
No
talk.
one's saying no. Thank you for allowing me to talk. No one's saying not come to this beautiful country. No one's saying that. We invite anyone that's bringing something to this beautiful nation of ours. I'm Spanish Italian. I'm so grateful that this country opened up their borders for my ancestors to come here and flourish, or else I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have children, wouldn't have a business, wouldn't have da-da-da-da-da. What I'm saying is
Oh, shut up, you silly little mug, mate.
Be quiet,
please,
don't talk
please
like that.
don't expect me to go to a foreign country, and not wish to integrate into that country. I don't have the right to bring my ideology to another country and claim that it's...
Yes, so you're seeing this on an individual level. So you as a person, Nomadic, you don't think that you're doing what every other English person has done historically and presently. Do you actually understand your tribe, though? Do you understand what they're doing in Spain currently? Do you understand anything about that? What are the English doing in Spain? What are the English doing in Spain and have been doing?
What are the English doing in Spain?
What have the English done in Spain for the last 20 years?
Paying into the economy.
What are they doing? Please don't interrupt. One more time. Let me ask again. Let me tell everybody on the panel right now. We talk one at a time. If you unmute and you speak, you will be dropped because everybody gets a chance to speak. We have to hear each other. If people are talking over each other, the comment section can't hear. I can't hear. You can't hear. Okay, so just wait, please. Nomadic. What are the Spanish doing? What are the English doing in Spain and have been doing for actually, I think it's about 40 years, to be honest with you. What have they been doing there? Oh, is he gone? Oh, he's disappeared. Okay, we're going to go to Hamlet now. Hamlet.
Yeah, no, I agree with the prompt. I think if anybody doesn't know the history in terms of like the criteria people get for living differently to remain, we should revoke your passport and your nationality. You should reapply for it, because I think it's important. And how is it that an immigrant would know more about your own history than you? That I'm perplexed. I mean, I can't blame them, because the reading age in England is 9 years of age.
It's actually 9 to 11.
So
9 to 11. That's old.
right. So that tells you the literacy rate of the majority of the people here, right? And also, I think you're right. I think a lot of the North did vote Brexit, which is biting us back, because we're losing 160 billion, a year, and also free enterprise is sort of affected because and the big companies get this monopoly, right? So bigger companies carry on making money, which they're all in London, and Margaret Thatcher made sure of this to sort of make London the hub for the money, and the rest of the country is just barren, right? In terms of prosperity. She sold all the companies. And when you was talking before about how Southerners are a little bit more advanced, I agree with this, because and this is the reason because why it's such a thriving state, because there's a lot of immigrants there, a lot of immigrants, which brings business and it brings prosperity. And in almost around the world, if you look at every single capital, the immigrants rate is high. And really, the capitals are the countries. We know, for example, Italy, also Germany. The capitals are the most richest place. Now, yes, the South is broke. They blame immigrants often. And you are right in saying that a lot of them don't know their own history, and the history is absolutely barbaric. If you look at British history, it's absolutely barbaric. I mean, there was one point where there was getting mummies from Egypt and eating them, and I thought this was for medicinal purposes. I mean, how barbaric is that to eat human turkey, right? Dried meat,
honestly,
for medicinal purposes, and the dare to call BLK people and others barbaric and animalistic.
It's all projection. We know. Yeah, we know now. It's
and
very
I
tiring.
think you are right. Yeah, you are right in saying that they are scared. They're scared because of what they've done in history, and they think this will happen to them. Because it's for example, Islam's coming over, they're taking over, the multiculturalism has failed. Well, no, we've always been a multicultural country.
Always. Even black and brown people, dark skinned people.
Right. There's not been a day.
Yeah, the history traces back to
like
6 AD. It's always been a multicultural island. And again, it is just the insecurity of the Anglo-Saxons that are coming out now. And it is just a very, very interesting, ironic conversation we're having. Okay, we're going back to Droog, I think now. Droog, how are you?
Ooh. Sorry, hiya.
Yeah.
Just a quick one. I've got to go and walk my dogs, so I'll just be very quick. I don't think it's a north and south thing. I think there are places in the south, the Midlands and the north that all voted for Brexit. And I think there are places in all of those areas, the south and Midlands and the north, where there is deprivation, economic deprivation. I feel like the vote for Brexit is it's around more economic deprivation as opposed to like geographical location. If you look at like Great Yarmouth, they've just gone to vote for what's his name, that bloke from Restore, the guy that got rugby players and immigrants
Rupert
mixed
Lowe.
up. What's his name?
Rupert Lowe.
That's the guy. I never remember his name. He's just so irrelevant.
It's not important. Yeah, exactly. Irrelevant.
Yeah, it doesn't go in. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's more to do with economic deprivation, and a lot of that economic deprivation has been very deliberate by the Tory party for the last 14 years, because they know that stupid people are easier to rule than intelligent people, because intelligent people are going to question everything and challenge everything and push back. Stupid people are just going to nod, watch the telly, and accept that Disney Plus is rubbish, and just get on with their lives and eat pizza and be happy. So the Tories made us stupid, and the consequences are now that's what we're suffering from. What's funny, ironically, of course, is that it's Farage that's benefiting from the Tories' policy of making us stupid, not the Tories. That's quite entertaining. But anyway, I'm going to go and walk the dogs. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Drew. Thank you. Yes, so we've got Leanne here. Leanne, how are you today, Leanne? Leanne, are you there?
Is it my signal? Is it your signal?
It's really
Can
breaking.
you hear me?
Yeah, but it's really breaking up. I think you're there though. I can hear you.
Oh, thank God.
Time
Morning,
to skip
guys.
Joey, we've already heard a little bit from you. Is there something that you wanted to add, Joey? Because I can come back to you after. I'll come back to you, Joey. Okay, Leanne, continue.
Okay, first off, morning, everyone. How's everyone's morning going?
All good in the hood.
Secondly,
Good morning, Leanne.
what's going
Nice
on,
to meet
guys?
you.
We don't know how to behave. I'm hearing people unmute their mics all at the same time, talking over each other. The topic's in the prompt, and for some reason we're talking about immigrants. I'm kind of confused. Should we all read the prompt together? Should the English go back to Germany? So when I'm hearing other stuff, my brain is not really computing because that's not really the topic of discussion. So, for those of you that want to say Britain's great again, go find a different life for that. Those of you that want to say this is my country, go to find a different life for that. Those of you that want to say, well, we've been here for too long, Google's free. Like, Google's actually free for you to use. For those of you that came to do that, the X button at the top, I don't really tell you guys to leave. Normally I want you guys to stay, but the X button, just for that, the X button is genuinely in the top right hand corner. But yeah, apart from that, I don't understand why we're only at 15k lives. There's 172 people in this room. Your fingers are not tapping hard enough. I'm so sorry. I'm confused. We've all been listening for this long. And only 15 guys. I'm shaking my head. That's absolutely terrible. Why are we not gifting Fox as well? Bit confused. Genuinely confused on that part. It's like what 1p? 1p, guys. A rose is free. We know. Like, men of 2026 do love their flowers, so you can gift the men on the panel as well. Like, men want their flowers nowadays, so let's also give it to them. But a woman at heart loves roses as well. Like, loves a bouquet. So if you can, greatly appreciated. Okay, we've got that out of the way. In terms of the prompt, should the English go back to Germany? If I said yes, it's going to cause World War V, So the whole situation that's going on right now, which a couple of people have touched on before, I think I'm glad that we have people that have common sense, because as we all know, common sense is not common anymore, especially in 2026. So I'm glad that a lot of English people know that they're not actually originally from England itself. Like, you guys, if you trace it back, you are also from somewhere else. And also, you weren't also here by yourself. You shared this land with quite a few other people. So I'm just glad that people are aware, So when I'm hearing this rhetoric of what's going on,
they're still denying
are they
it.
not?
Some person came here and said, "No, we're not from Germany. We're actually from Denmark." It's like, well, you're from Germany as well. They were trying to say, well, if they're from Germany, that means we're all from Africa. So they miss everything to do with the lineage. They just go, they go that far back. So, they got all these other small prints or going around the houses and talking about other semantics, right? Because again, the reason why we have this conversation is because they're the ones who brought up the topic of immigration. So they'll always have some kind of clause that tries to get them out of the contract.
I'm confused because
I'll go back to Germany right now.
Somebody said that they're from Africa. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
If you're from my continent, why are you still there then? Like, I would love to know, why are you guys still there? And then why is it you guys want some of us to be in mud huts and, some of us want it to be melted because we're that bad of a people? So yeah, I just want to let's get the rules in order, guys. We can have a civilized conversation without the whole interruption thing and whatnot. I get it, it's a passionate topic. I think if you do want to talk on a point that someone said, maybe put your hand up in the comments. and then we can kind of circle back to you. But apart from that, yeah, if you've come here to say vote reform, vote restore, make Britain great again, there's so many lives. Like, I can literally send you so many lives where you can talk about that. So yeah. I'm only seeing 18.5, by the way, guys. You guys know me by now. I'm gonna get onto all of you. 18.5 is absolutely terrible, considering there's nearly 200 people here. So yeah, let me just shush now.
All right. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you. Right, we're going to go to Who Knows LOL next. Who knows? How are you today? Who knows?
Hi, good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Hello.
Hi.
Good day to you. So this is the topic today. The real United Kingdom. Does it mean that the English should go back to Germany? And also, they're the ones who are bringing this topic of conversation to the table because they're telling everybody to get out of the country, but they're not even from the country. So what do you have to add to the topic today?
I just think it's a bit of hypocrisy because obviously, they're not indigenous, but I'd say they're natives, but they're not indigenous. So them saying that people should go back to their country is a bit of them being hypocrites. But I did want to touch on this immigration thing. I think a lot of them, the reason why they voted for reform was out of frustration, not understanding, what's actually going on. I think it's just frustration, because of housing issues, like the other gentleman said, deprivation, and also religion. Religion has a lot to play in it.
Why does religion have a lot to play? Why?
I don't really like to touch on it, but
you brought it up.
Yeah, I know, I will. Sorry. With the Islam thing, I can see where they're coming from, but they're not really. I think they're being a bit ignorant about it because I feel like if you come to a country, obviously, because I'm third generation, I'm black. My grandparents came from Nigeria. If you come from a country, you have to kind of integrate.
But
that doesn't mean that you stop.
If you're talking about
that
religion,
doesn't mean you stop your culture.
If you're talking about religion being integration, and when you talk about England and Islam, I'm assuming you also mean Christianity, right? Are you talking about actually English people also practicing Christianity? Is that what you're talking about as well?
Well, Christianity, yeah, but Christianity has nothing to do with Islam.
Okay.
It's a different religion.
But what about Islam do you think is being pushed onto people? I mean, I live in a Muslim country right now. I've moved 4 years ago, so I kind of know what you.
I wouldn't say it's being pushed onto people. I'd say it's just in your face everywhere you go.
Is
and
it?
if you're a Christian, a little bit.
How?
A little bit, and I want to say that without being rude.
How is it being pushed in your face? How are things? How people living being pushed in your face?
It's just okay. This I just want to clarify something. England, is it still a Christian country or
No,
is it?
It's secular.
I don't know what is.
It's secular.
Secular meaning
anybody can practice any religion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, it is. It's secular.
So it's not a Christian country?
No, it was historically, but not currently. And there is a declining amount of Christianity, as you know. It's declining heavily. So it's not a Christian country. There is, of course, still a significant Christian population, but it's not a Christian country. Even certain other Muslim countries that are quote unquote Muslim are still secular, but again they would have maybe a 99% Muslim population because people would be born into the religion. And thank you, Fatima, it's a pagan origin, so it is actually now classed as a secular country.
Can I just say something? I just feel like if you're like a 70 or 8 like a 90-year-old man or 8-year-old man, and you've only seen Christianity in your country. Right? Even when my grandparents came here, this country was still seen as a Christian country. that was in the 60s and 50s.
So why do you think?
Right?
Why do you think though that religion or this particular religion would scare people? Because in the East, right, or in
I can't do it.
Swana,
It's too boring. I
in
can't do
Swana,
it.
well then drop. If it's too boring for you, drop. Swana is actually full of Christian churches. Okay, so Southwest Asia, North Asia. Into the East is full of Christian churches. And the reason why these Christian churches were put there was so that the British military can have places to worship. And also they needed extensions from the British Empire. So these countries already had churches. They didn't have a problem with it. So why would the British have a problem with mosques in the UK? Why?
I don't know. I just feel like it's the stigma behind it as well.
What stigma?
There's a stigma.
What stigma?
Behind it. You have to the stigma of the terrorism. And then all of this.
Christianity.
Yeah, it's called racism.
It's called racism. Yes, because Christianity.
Okay. You could put that. You could say that then racism. You could say that. But there is still a stigma. We're not going to sit here and say there's no stigma.
But what
there is.
But again, this whole topic is about hypocrisy. Who knows? Maybe you're not quite understanding. This whole thing is to do with hypocrisy.
I agree. I agree with you.
So why would Christian nations who have done through whatever they've done throughout the whole entire world, 500 million people being unalive, 500 million people through Christianity, Catholicism, through the Western Europeans, right? They've done that throughout the world. They've then set up their churches and people have understood the church. They've respected, they've still respected Europeans. Why? And they haven't complained about it. Why should the English and the British have complaint about that, about having mosques? Why should they complain?
Well, me as a black woman, as a black person, running down my veins, the Islam religion did that to us too. The Arab slave trade. So it's both of them at this point.
But didn't you say you're a Christian?
So as a black woman, as a black person,
are you a Christian?
No, I'm not a Christian.
So
I'm not a Christian. I didn't say. I didn't say I was a Christian. No.
Are you atheist?
No, I'm spiritual.
You're spiritual.
I mainly practice Ifa. You know Ifa, the Ifa religion.
Yes.
That's what I mainly practice. But what I'm saying to you, me as a black woman, I can't respect the Ifa. So that's why I'm sitting out. I'm sitting out because Islam did pain for my people, and so did Christianity.
Yeah, and your own people did pain to your own people, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So do you blame them as well? Do you have a stigma of every single person in the world? Like, I don't get it.
So I'm telling you about religion. I never said nothing about people. I said religion. Yeah, the two religions.
Oh, go back to Germany.
The Ottoman Empire. Hold on. The Ottoman Empire
are both terrible for my people.
Yeah, but so why, if you're talking about religion, why are you blaming the Ottoman Empire for religion then?
Who's blaming the Ottoman?
I feel like we're going a little bit away from the topic. Okay, guys on the panel. Just
hold on, because the people who ruled Africa, it was the Ottoman Empire.
Hamlet, we're going too far from the topic now. Okay, so I'm trying to understand where Who Knows is coming from. Her initial point was English people are going to get upset because there's another ideology in England, which is Islam. Again, pointing out the hypocrisy. Why would you feel that way if these other nations have experienced other things from the English? Okay, so that's why I want to try and get to know the conversation. I think you've made your point quite clear there, Who Knows, but you didn't really answer the question, I don't think, about whether the English should go back to Germany. I don't think you answered that. Did you answer that? Or maybe I missed it.
No, you didn't. Yes, you didn't hear me. I said they're being hypocrites. So if everyone else, remember, they're not indigenous, they're native.
Yes.
Being a native doesn't mean you're indigenous to the land.
Yeah.
So if you're telling people they have to go back, that means you have to go back. Yeah. But I also want to let people know today, as a black person.
Okay. Thank you so much. Who Knows? We're going to go now to off the hook. Thank you so much. Off the hook. What would you like to add to the topic, please? Off the hook. Hello.
Good day, mate.
Yes, hello, how are you?
Doing very well, mate. How about you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm good. What would you like to add? So this is the topic today. The real United Kingdom. Should the English go back to Germany?
Well, mate, I just wanted to say, just go off the last topic about the last lady that was speaking. Is that okay?
Yeah, but this is the topic. I want you to answer this question first. This is the prompt. What we're talking about.
All right, mate.
Right. I need people to stick on to the topic. That's what it's here for.
So, I didn't know it was Germany that the British people came from, right?
English people, not British people. British people or
English, yeah,
Britons
that's what I
came from
mean. Yeah,
Britain.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yes, I thought they were just from like everywhere in England. I thought British people were from everywhere,
Why are you
like
bringing up British
because
again? No, why are you bringing up British? The topic is
like
English. We
cause,
talked about English ancestry. English people came from Denmark, Norway, and Germany. But for some reason, they seem to get very offended by the German part. Like, I don't know why. What's the issue with Germany? What's wrong with Germany? What's the problem with Germany?
Germany's nice, mate.
I
Germany's good.
think Germany is nice myself. I like Germany. I've got a German best friend. I'm going to play that card. My best friend is German.
Mate.
Truly, I actually do have a German best friend. Yeah, I'm serious.
No,
I'm actually
mate.
serious.
Well,
It's nice.
I'm happy with like anyone living every day wherever they want. Like it's up to them where they choose and where they feel safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is Germany, right? If they don't feel like the UK is safe, the place that they colonized, right? If the English don't like the UK anymore, they don't like the fact that it's so multicultural, then why don't they go back to where their ancestry is from and go back to Germany? And then they can do whatever they want there. They can decide whoever wants to come in and out of their country. They can put their borders up. They can, do all of the things that they don't want to do. They can decide what immigrants are allowed in the country. So, if they went back,
Mate.
they'll be
I
able to
can't
do
get
those sort
ya.
of things. Yeah.
I get you.
They'll be able to do all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
All
it.
right, mate. Well, can I talk about what Miss was saying?
What part of it? Because has it got anything to do with the topic? Because I see
It
where
was
she was
to
coming
do with
from.
it was about to do with the religion getting, the Islam
Not really, because
in
it's
the
a
UK
bit too
is getting
far.
pushed on
No, because
everyone.
that point has already been made. It's already been made. We already know about that point. Yeah.
Fox.
Yes,
Fox, I'm
Leanne?
so sorry to interrupt. Drop him. He's a troll. He's a troll. Drop him.
Look at me. I just spilled my
Drop him.
water.
I'm on troll,
All
mate.
right. Thank you
He's a
very
troll.
much. Thank
I'm
you.
on troll, mate.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to
Everyone
go to...
heard the 700 different accents.
Is he a voice actor?
God knows. But yeah, on top of that, Fox, you're lagging a little bit as well.
Okay. Oh, I don't know. TikTok has got some crazy issues going on. I couldn't start the live this morning. I couldn't see comments down here. I couldn't see comments on this phone. I've had to go to a different phone. TikTok is doing something odd at the moment. So maybe it'll be sorted. That's why I look a bit yellow as well. And my teeth look yellow as well. I ain't got yellow teeth, I promise. And that's why I look really pixelated as well. There's an issue with TikTok. But we're going to go to I Am next, please. I Am, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much. So this is the topic, the real United Kingdom. If we have a real United Kingdom, does it mean that the English should actually go back to Germany because they're not indigenous to Britain? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that if they want to actually start pointing out things about people going back to their own countries, then yeah, they should definitely go back to where they're from. Which, if we go back even further than just Germany, Denmark, and whatnot, then I mean, they technically come from the Caucasus Mountains.
Right, all the way back to the mountains. Yeah, they forget that they're actually like from up there.
Yeah.
From was it Caucasus Mountains is Albania region, right? Is that right? Albania, Russia, like area where they actually came from. Yeah, I don't know why people say it's disproven. Everybody knows you came from the Caucasus Mountains. You're called Caucasian, Caucasia, Asia. You're from there. It's like they don't actually understand.
Do you know the origin
word.
of the word Caucasian?
Can you please wait your turn and then
Do you know the origin of the word or
We'll
not?
bring you in, Dave, in a little bit. We'll bring you in, Dave. Please hold that thought because we got What's something underneath you as well who also wants to say something. So yeah, this is interesting about the Caucasus Mountains. And again, English people need to dive a little bit more into where they come from. And if they're talking about, we're from Africa, no, you're actually a genetic mutation that was born 8,000 years ago. Exactly. So not everybody was born out of Africa. Exactly. You're the guys with the Neanderthal DNA, which we don't have. So I think sometimes when people, I think sometimes there is also that misconception. But if we think about how things are born in the world, some things are just born from energy or from remains of something else. It doesn't mean you actually came from the mother, right? It doesn't mean you actually came from there. So yeah, it's funny how they now just, the most racist people out here will be like, yeah, but we're from Africa now. Like, please. That to me is the most hilarious.
I know it's crazy.
Yeah,
it is crazy, and I think education has a lot to do with the way how people think nowadays. Because I mean, a lot of these people, if you realize, even watching them on certain videos and stuff like, they're so uneducated. It's unbelievable.
Yes.
Like they're doing a march, yet they're going for a lunch at a Indian food, like an Indian food stand. But yet you're telling these people to come out of your country. Like it doesn't make any sense. They've got pretty much no culture, so they try and like steal everybody else's. I mean, even the British Museum in London, like that was built by a black man. Like there's a lot of buildings that's actually built by black people that they don't even realize. They're talking about let's make Britain great again. Well, I mean, Britain being great has nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
Like
it's always the same. It's the same conversation, isn't it? Like especially their cousins in America or their offspring saying, "Make America great again." When they say the again part, it's like, what era are you talking about? When was it great? Were you there? Do you remember what happened? Are you talking about the 1800s with the Industrial Revolution? Or are you talking about later on when you were chucking your piss and shit out in the streets and you were calling it the Great Stink? Like, are you talking about the 90s when you talk about all the horrendous crimes against children and women? Are you talking about the flashes in the forests? Are you talking about like which eras are you actually talking about?
This is it. We're like, literally, which part are you talking about? Because none of it was great, and technically, black people, was literally everywhere in the world prior to them coming to invade each section.
Yeah.
That's why we have like the buildings proving that we was already there. Like they make it seem as if, oh, we got shipped here, but we was already here. Christopher Columbus did not find anywhere. It was the opposite way. Like black people were showing him places. Like they teach you in school that, oh yeah, he founded all these places and all these. He never found nothing because it was already founded by black people.
Somebody in the comment section just down there, you've educated me. The person who said Gardyloo, who is it? I can't remember who just said it because it went by really fast. So I just Googled that really quickly. Gardyloo was used in Edinburgh as a warning cry when it was customary to throw slops from the windows into the streets. So whoever just said that, thank you so much. I learned something in there. So that's what the Scottish used to do. They used to shout Gardyloo and then chuck their shit out in the street. And again, these people want to say that they colonized the rest of the world. So thank you so much for that one word. To be honest, I thought you were insulting me because there's a lot of shit that happens in the comment section where you guys come here and be like, let me be mean to Fox. And I thought you were calling me something. So that's why I have to Google because I'm like, oh, okay. So thank you for the person who actually just educated me a little bit there.
It was someone called Stu.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much to that.
Stu in the comments.
Thank you, Stu. Thank you for that. Right, okay, we're going to move to the next person, though. What's happening? How are you today? What's happening?
Yeah, not bad. Yourself?
I'm good, thank you. So this is the topic. Should the English go back to Germany? What do you think?
I think it's a pathetic prompt, to be fair. I mean, you're comparing modern migration to migration back 1,000 years ago, so it doesn't really make sense.
No, why does it not make sense?
Why
is it pathetic
Well,
to
because
you?
we've evolved.
Why is it pathetic?
Because we've come a long way since then. Would you not agree we've come a long way since then?
If another 100 years goes by and there are still Pakistanis in the country, are you still going to ask them to go back to where they come from?
I'm not asking for them to all go back to where they come from. This is where you're mistaking it.
No, I'm not mistaken. Leanne,
this is the problem.
Just one minute. I just need to add something. Leanne, I think I'm going to have to do it after. Oh no, hold on. 1 minute. I'll come back to you. What's happening? I'm coming back.
Yeah, I forgot this is your backup account.
Yeah, I don't think I've got it on this one. I think I need to add it after, because I don't even know where I am, what I'm doing.
Oh,
Right.
it's
Let me
cool.
add it to you after. Yes, so you're saying basically that only certain groups of people should be protected by immigration and movement. You're saying that there's a window on what migration looks like and that you are exempt from that window of migration. Yes, what's happening? That's what you're saying.
No, that's just you putting words in my mouth, because that's what the answer you want. So we'll go off realistic talk, yeah? Let's talk proper instead of trying to gaslight each other and act up for the viewers.
I don't know how many.
Do you want to have a conversation, or do you want
The question I'm asking? No, when it's Sassy, we'll come to you. We'll come to you.
No, you can't, because we've waited patiently.
Everybody's waiting. The topic is, should the English go back to Germany? And you said no. So that's your answer.
Yeah, because you're comparing, like I said, you're comparing migration to from 1,000 years ago to modern migration. It's not the same.
But it is
For a
the
start,
same.
the population of humans is tenfold. Well, it's not the same, is it?
But it is the same.
I mean, you need
It's
a
the
passport to
same.
go anywhere. You're south, Fox. To go anywhere you're south now, Fox, do you need to leave the country with a passport?
Yeah, but who created the passport? What's happening?
So how is
Who
so
did
how
that?
is it the same as 1,000 years ago?
Who created the passport? What's happening?
No. So how is it the same
Who
as 1,000 years ago? I'm asking you a
who
question.
created
You're
the
answering a
passport?
question with a question.
1,000 years ago, right? Not everybody,
Yeah.
certain groups of people did migrate, right? Certain groups of people did migrate, and then they were able to stay. But other groups of people, particularly your group of people, didn't migrate.
We know this.
Didn't migrate. You invaded. You did terrible things in these lands. So not all migration was the same, okay? The point is, of course, as we're talking about, is the hypocrisy of this. Why would the world's biggest colonizers and invaders tell people that they should go back to their country when?
Because they're no longer doing that. That's why.
But they are. You're in Israel right
The-
now.
the
You're in
common people in
Palestine.
this
You're in
country-
Palestine
No.
right now. Your government,
No.
your government and your people are still doing. You are still in Afghanistan. You were still also in Sudan and Congo. You're still also in Russia. You're involved in Russia and Ukraine. You're doing all of these things still. Thank you so much, Leanne, as well. You're still in the Caribbean. You're still in all of these places. Okay.
So let's just blame the average Joe, Because
So
of
you're
all
not
that going on.
you're not understanding, right? You're not understanding. We look at things
No,
as
you're not understanding.
but your people, unfortunately, are saying send all the Muslims back to Muslim land, right? You lot are saying that right now, but you're not understanding where you actually came from, and you're
people.
trying to.
What are you on about? These people are your people as well.
Yeah, no.
These people are your people
What
as
do you
well,
mean?
Fox.
Which people are my people?
You live in Britain. These are your people as well.
Guys, do I live in
All right.
Britain? Guys in the chat, do I live in Britain?
Well, no, you moved to a Muslim country 4 years ago. You said, which you.
Yeah. So
you
then,
know.
why would you say I lived in
So-
Britain? Why would you say I lived in Britain?
So you grew up. You was born in Britain, was you not?
What's that got to do with anything? The topic here
So you
is
keep saying
English
your
going back to
people.
Germany, right? I don't live in the UK anymore. I don't live in Europe anymore, right? Some people, when they migrated, they actually respected the lands, the people, the culture, the customs. The irony is the English people who don't respect the lands, the cultures, and the customs of all these places. So if they don't respect it, then they should go back to Germany. They should go back to Denmark. They should go back to the Netherlands. That's it.
It doesn't make no sense,
Celtic,
though,
yes,
what
it does.
you're
The Celtic people in the country who have been there for a lot longer than the English, right? A lot longer. So
Yeah,
the
where do they
Celtics.
go back to then?
So the Celtics are now more indigenous because they've been there since 1000 BC. Go back, like I've said, to the Neolithic, Mesolithic period is 12,000 BC. Belbeca is 2,400. We've got some people from the Belbeca. Celtics, 1,000. Romans, 443 AD. Anglo-Saxons were the last settlers on the land. You guys are the last. You're the last settlers. But yet you want to try and control what happens in the country. Nobody was complaining about immigration until you guys started to complain about it. That's the whole point. That's the whole
Sorry, how long did they settle? How long ago did they settle? Was it
Who?
980 years ago, wasn't
Who?
it?
Anglo-Saxons?
Anglos.
Anglo-Saxons, 1,500 years ago. 1,500 years ago.
No.
Yeah, so you're the last.
And they're
you're
still
the
not
last one.
established here. Still not established here after 1,500 years.
English?
That's crazy. How long have you got to be established here?
You're missing the point of the conversation. Unfortunately, all this conversation is about hypocrisy. That's all it's about. You either understand the hypocrisy or you don't. We're going to move to the next person, though. Thank you so much. What's happening?
Oh.
We got Dangerous Dave. Dangerous Dave, how are you?
I bet you move to the next person.
There's nothing more to discuss.
Typical.
Well, there's nothing more
Well, there
to
is,
discuss.
because your topic's fucking stupid.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. We're not going to get personal insults.
Leanne, you're just a racist. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, there we go. Mods, can we kick him out? Mods, let's block him. Thank you.
So we're going to go to Dangerous Dave now, please. If you're upset by the topic, like really, we're just very chill talking about these things. Thank you, Paula. Yeah, you should take it out on the wall. I don't know if you're going to take it out on your missus, because this is what you guys do. So don't do that. Please don't do that. Don't resort to aggression, because you guys need to just relax.
If they got a missus.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see. If we see a police report, because this guy can't handle a conversation about immigration, invasion, history, all that stuff. Like this is his people. It's not our people. So I don't know why he would get upset. But Dangerous Dave, please continue. This is the topic. What would you like to add?
Is it practical? How many Anglo-Saxon English are there? What, 40, 50 million, rough guess?
I don't know.
Approximately.
I don't know.
The practicalities of sending all them back can be pretty difficult.
Well,
it's something like that. Anyway, I'm just guessing.
It wouldn't be our problem, because deportation is deportation. Let the government sort it out. Let them do it.
No, it is. The Anglo-Saxons are indigenous to Britain.
No.
In terms from a government perspective.
No,
because
that doesn't
as
make
this
them,
country
that
was being
doesn't
formed,
make, that doesn't make them indigenous. Like Ian said, it makes them native.
It does.
It makes them native to Britain. It doesn't make them indigenous. These are two different words. They'll be native.
No.
They'll be native.
What's the definition of indigenous? Native, indigenous. Anyway, they've got the right to, if they think their country is being overtaken, then they've got the right, or maybe not got the right, but they see it, that they can just throw people out. And why not?
This is literally, you're not understanding the conversation, unfortunately, Dangerous Dave. You're not understanding the conversation, sir. If they are not indigenous, which they are not, and they're telling people, you see how slow I have to talk now? It's making me tired, guys. It's making me so tired. These people are not indigenous. You've just tried to say that native and indigenous was the same and then be like, okay, let me give up and think that they're actually different. Settlers.
No, they are indigenous. Because
they're invaders. They're invaders.
Yes, settlers is indigenous.
Goodbye. You're dropped now. Invaders and immigrants. We're very aware that these people are invaders and immigrants. They created the land called England. It did not exist beforehand. There are many different kingdoms. Britain was just Britain beforehand. Please, if you come and create a land, you're not indigenous. You're invaders. You migrated also after you colonized Britain, and then you went to colonize the rest of the people in Britain already, 1,000 years before you. Please. This is like really fucking basic shit, I feel like, in 2026. Please stop this. Right, Bish, we're going to now go to Bish Bash Bosh, please. Bish Bash Bosh, how are you?
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I agree with the prompt here, but I just want to touch on something that you mentioned earlier.
Because obviously, of course, any other person would feel some type of way if they come from that country, and then you make that statement.
Let's talk about the prompt, okay? So you guys are you see how quickly people are to deflect and to go to other places. The topic is about the English and the Anglo-Saxons. Please, can you give me some more information about what you know about the English?
Yes, I said I agree with it.
There's no such thing as I agree, but should the English go back to Germany? Should they?
I mean, if they're telling everyone else to go back to where they come from, then yeah, of course, because that's their place of origin. Okay. But what I was saying is, you mentioned before, if you're given a chance to speak, you said basically you said Caucasian and Russian and Albanian. What do you know about Albania? I'm Albanian. What do you know about Albania?
We're talking about it. We're not.
I don't care, but you shouldn't make that statement. That's not saying every African is Bantu. That's not saying every African is Bantu. That was ignorant.
Boy, we're not going down that route. And literally, we all know about Caucasians and the Caucasus Mountains. And it's literally not the topic. It's not the topic. Please stick to topic. Please stop the topic. Right. Yes, Leanne.
Okay, guys, before we go to the next person, let's read together. The real United Kingdom. Should the English go back to Germany? I'm just going to, one more time. Should the English go back to Germany? Thank you.
You see, guys, today is a very, very slow day. I don't know, it's only Tuesday. And the brains are already struggling with this one. It's a very simple conversation. Yes, you can talk a little about the lineage, but why are we going all the way back to, or like all the way back? We don't need to go that far back. Please stick to topic. Right, we've got Sassy now. Sassy, how are you? Sassy. Sassy?
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
Good.
How are you?
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. Thank you so much. So this is the topic today, the real United Kingdom. This is a topic of conversation because the English are asking everybody to go back to where they come from. So if that means that everyone should go back to where they come from, surely it means that the English should go back to Germany. What do you think, Sassy?
Well, I think so. I think they should go back even further. Because, as we said, they have the Neanderthal gene. They come from the Caucasus Mountains. I would like to tell people to research Wild Men and the Moors. And it's a German tapestry, 1440. And just look at the tapestry and look who's in the castles and who's standing there covered in hair. So I think their history may be a bit closer to Neanderthal than we understand. 1440s, 1400s. So go and look at that tapestry. Wild Men and the Moors, German tapestry, 1440. And I think they say it's folklore, but I think it's actual history.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, so I think
that's... And you guys have said more than I could even say. You've been saying a lot, and I think I couldn't say any more than that because it's all true, all facts. And yeah.
Thank you so much.
Next person.
Thank you, Sassy. Thank you. Okay, we've got Lee next. Lee, how are you? I think I might have to end the live because my battery is really low, but let's see how far it goes. It's down to 8%. So if it does cut out, it's because the battery has literally died, okay? But I'm going to try and get through everybody on the panel. Lee, how are you today, Lee?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Hope you're well. Should they go back to Germany? Absolutely, I agree, honestly. If you look at crime rates, they tend to do a lot of crime, specifically English. If you look at educationally, they tend to do worse than most immigrant populations. If you look at tax, as they like to quote it, most of them are on job seekers and universal credit. They are net negative. And as a true Brit, as a UK citizen, I would say absolutely get rid of them. Now, the question is whether you're going to go France, whether you're going to go Sweden. If you're lucky, one of the lucky few, you might end up in Italy. You might have Romanic descent. I'm sure the Irish would love to unify their country. I'm sure Scotland would love to unify theirs. I'm sure Wales would love to unify theirs. Therefore, I believe the English, funnily enough, English is not even an indigenous language. If you go back to the roots, their language sounds closer to what they speak in Scandinavia today. And also, they love to say, oh, the Muslims are taking over, this is that. Brother, I would like to say to those people, when did it become fashionable to deny your lineage and origins? Majority of the Caucasus Mountains are Muslim. They've been Muslim for a very long time. And then as white as it gets, do you know what I mean? So when it comes to those people, I would just say, honestly, what do you produce for the country? Because when you look at majority of people that talk like this, they're not educated. Like the previous brother before me, he tried to say governmentally indigenous. What does that even mean? There's only one definition for indigenous. What do you mean governmentally indigenous? Are you indigenous or you're native? So what I would say to you, when people migrate, right? it tends to be of two cases, either due to war, famine, or economic reasons. And even funnily enough, the vast majority of people that migrated here as immigrants, right, were the doctors, engineers, rich people. It's not cheap to migrate, my brother. Whereas you are the byproduct of people who came and conquered, and then they left you behind. Germany succeeding, the largest GDP in Europe, very educated people. What the question you got to ask yourself is, why was you left behind?
Ooh, that must hurt. That's hurt. That I'm not even English, but that hurts. That truly hurts. Like literally the stragglers that got left in. That's real. That's painful, actually. That's actually. Oh, I need to take that one. Literally, that one. Do you know what that is? That equates to. Hold on, let me get it because I haven't even done it so far. I haven't even done it. Here we go. That's painful, guys. That's painful. That should get you like you're not even in your motherland. They took you away from there. In terms of actually, like, you know, you had your leaders, because the English are very submissive people. They seem to deny it, but they're very submissive. So they had some leaders back then. Of course, they had Christianity. So they were following their leaders, and their leaders led them to Britain, right? And of course, there was a call from the Romans as well. They said, come to Britain. But then they started invading and they started colonizing. They started to do all these things. And they forgot who their ancestors actually are. But that's why I find it hilarious about World War I and World War II. I find all that whole story about World War I. It's like you're all family. You're fighting each other. Like Hitler's your granddaddy. You know, they don't get it. They don't get it. They don't get the connection to all of these royal people. That picture, if you guys haven't seen it, the 9 kings. They were all cousins in Europe. The English king, German king, Russian king. I can't remember who else was there. Was it French? Maybe. I don't know. They were all family. And they all got into an argument. Even some of them, they look similar. And because they were control their white male egos, they were like, oh, we're going to fight. And so they dragged millions of you to your death. And you still want to be proud about World War I, World War II? Because you learned from the First World War I, you were like, oh shit, do you know what? This is actually serious. We could die. And so then they brought through what? You had to be conscripted into World War II. They dragged you again. And you still want to be like, yeah, World War I, World War II. You guys are so submissive. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Paulie. Thank you. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, that's so flowers. So lovely. Thank you. Yeah. So you like to rehash these things. You think these things are glorious, but your history is atrocious. Your lineage is atrocious. And so if you want to tell people to go back to where they come from, we suggest you go back, or at least you start looking at your history to know where you come from, because you just sound silly when you start talking. Thank you so much, Lee. Right, we've got now Dr. Shah next. Dr. Shah, how are you? Dr. Shah on the panel, I'm going to send you an invitation to unmute. Oh, sorry, Dr. Shabazz, I think your name is. Dr. Shabazz?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's correct. Is everyone okay there?
Yes.
Basically, I was just, obviously, because I'm mixed race, I'm Irish and Kashmiri mixed. And obviously, I'm not saying all English are racist, but being British, my grandfather from Pakistan fought for this country. But I still got told to go back to my country, but not knowing I'm Irish and Kashmiri, so where should I go?
Well, the topic is, should the English go back to Germany?
I think everyone should fuck off our England because it belongs to the native people.
Who is the native people?
Because you basically killed out the people that originally before England was made.
So indigenous.
The native, the people that actually own the land.
Yeah, indigenous.
Indigenous, yes, that's correct. Yeah, so I say all English, wherever country we're from, we should always fuck off back to where we're from if that's the case. Because realistically, I'm not racist because, like I said, I've suffered genocide from both sides, from the Irish side. And in Kashmir, there's basically a genocide going on right now, but it's silent. It's not been shown. So I think England is just fucked.
Yeah, Kashmir is obviously from Britain and British rule and everything that they did in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Kashmir, and what's going on now.
Basically, they divided India, caused politics here, caused shit here. They stole all the wealth, you know what I mean? And they say we're terrorists. I've been called a Paki, I've been called a Pikey by English people, yeah? but not knowing that my family is indigenous from this country. You know what I mean?
I would prefer
So I've got
if you
more
didn't
right than the
use-
English to be here.
Yeah, I would prefer that you didn't use derogatory slurs, especially to yourself, because I want you to have higher self.
No, I'm saying I'm just saying I've been called that many times.
It doesn't matter.
Because with
But
English
please
people, I've told
don't-
them, look,
please
I'm Irish,
don't-
but
please don't use it as
no,
well.
I'm not.
So you don't need to repeat it. You don't need to say it. Like, we're very aware of the slur of the word, so please don't use it. So thank you so much for your comments. That's how we feel. Right, Yinka, we've got you next. Yinka, what would you like to add? Should the English go back to Germany? If we want a real United Kingdom, does it mean that the English should go back to Germany? Yinka, what do you think?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, sorry, that's so funny. My son has actually put me as a request and run away, so I'm just listening.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm going to drop you down now. Thank you so much, Yinka.
But yes, they should.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Okay, we've got Johnny Boy. Johnny Boy, how are you today?
Hello, I'm good. Are you all right?
I'm all right. I'm not bad, thank you. I am not bad. So, yes, what would you like to add today, sir?
Well, as a YT gammon myself, I think you're right. I think we should all disappear back to Germany. I was reading about it the other day, looking at heritage and stuff. My heritage isn't German; it's Sicilian. So I'd have to go back there. So when they say kick us all out,
Not
like
bad,
literally,
sorry,
I'd be part of it. But yeah, so I just wanted to agree with Lee as well. Lee said some really facts basically. So yeah, but I am. I don't know what I am. I'm English, but I'm upset. Do you know what? I just want to apologise for those people before. They were clearly racist people, and they just couldn't handle the facts, and they crashed out. No, when the wing crashed out, they're forced to be removed basically. So it's a form of crashing out. So they think they won, but really it's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for my own people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Paulie's right in the chat. Like, you shouldn't apologise for other people. It's for them to grow and to learn that they need to become better people. Because, you know, Johnny, you've been in my space many times. You know, you very much grab and grasp the conversation in a very full way. If you're a person who's actually been able to decolonize like yourself, you're not the same people. You're not part of the same story. Just 1 minute. It's my dog. Sorry, 1 minute. Leanne, could you do a reset, please? Leanne?
Yeah, no problem. Guys, mods, guys, right now TikTok is glitching. So you're going to see an influx of trolls in the comments, and the requests are moving a bit funny. So in the meantime, the host actually has really low battery. So if you don't get a chance to speak, no problem, but please follow the host.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, so as I was saying, Johnny, just, you know, and I've seen a few people in my comment section of videos talking about actually how they're having to have some real deep conversations with professionals regarding guilty feelings they may feel, and finding it very difficult. I mean, I don't know if you guys seen this video. It did make me laugh. I got tagged in it. This lady goes up to a van in London somewhere, and she's crying, a white lady in England. She's crying, saying like, oh, I don't like this because Nigel Farage just got in and he's racist and I'm white. And the lady's like, don't worry, just eat this food. Has anyone seen this? It is so funny. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it on my repost. And then they start singing together. Then she feels okay. And her voice is actually really good. But, you know, you saw it, Lee. You saw it. Yeah, please go to my repost. It is quite funny. But, you know, I know it's a difficult time. And I also don't want to mollycoddle you white guys, like you white people. I don't want to do it because we've suffered so much and we've not been allowed to suffer at all. Like, you have to understand, we have not been able to suffer. We've had to do your keep calm and carry on and stiff upper lip and all this kind of stuff throughout our whole entire lives. I'm 42. I finally stopped fighting when I left the island of misery 4 years ago, right? So I don't have time for it. But at the same time, when I do see decent people, I know Johnny's one of these people, is that I will say, do X, Y, and Z. But, you know, maybe I'm kind of whispering it to you, Johnny, there, of the answer of what you need to do. But not to everybody else who's racist, because we don't give a shit about the racists at all. So don't ever think that you're the same as them. You're not the same as them. Thank you, Johnny. Right, we're going to go now to...
Cheers.
Yeah, that's okay. We're going to go to Top Spot now next. Top Spot, how are you? Top Spot on the panel? Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi.
I'm fine.
Fine. Fine. This is an interesting conversation and a paradox, an irony of itself. You are 100% right. If we go according to your logic, then it will mean that the English people should also go back to Denmark and Norway, etc. Yes. Because their constitution historically based on the Anglo-Saxon and the Jute. So what you can see is the relationship between the English Queen and, of course, the Hanover in Germany. Yeah, they are really tied together. And normally, if you really understand the concept of the world leaders, you will see that they are all from the western part, especially it is the Anglo-Saxon superiority that is dominating the world today. So it is quite clear. But then what I'm asking myself is that we should also consider the fact that before there were no barriers within the various regions, and the people were able to, whether through war or through simple migration, been able to adapt different people into their soil. And whilst the time is going, they became one. So they move one. So this is how nationalities were built. So once nationalities are built, automatically everyone tries to defend their own nation as it is today. Otherwise, there might be too much circumstances that will lead to wars and etc. Yeah. So I think this is what has brought us today to this specific level of people saying that you must go back to your country, etc. But in the end, you yourself, you don't come from that area, and the question still remains: who is indigenous? And this is a historical context that one needs to check in and see how we can deal about that. Yeah. So when I listen to you,
I said at the beginning of this, right, Top Spot, I said at the beginning that English people should go, but there should also be a citizenship test specifically for English people, because they're the ones that brought the conversation to the table, right? So everybody else, of course, if they want to be a British national, they have to do a citizenship test. So I think to make it fair, if English people don't want to go back to where they come from, they should also have a test to stay in the UK. And I gave them 4 questions, and most of them didn't get the question right. So most of them would actually be deported. That's how it would work. Based on what they want everyone else to do, put it back to them. Yeah. They would go.
Yeah, that is crazy. I get you. I said when I hear your conversation, I was laughing because see, it is these times that history is becoming very interesting, because if you don't know your history or the history of the others, you will never understand, and you won't have any points to defend yourself. You see, and I think TikTok is doing a lot, and with such people like you, we are going to have a critical analysis towards certain behaviors in future. So I think that's great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate your comments, really. So guys, this is the difference between actually having educated people, and I'm going to make a comment now. You see how my energy went down? You guys are always here. Some of you are always here. You see, I'm always like, way, like, you know, I'm always laughing and joking and making jokes and just talking very much about truth and history. But because we had an influx of all these uneducated, unintelligent Anglo-Saxons, you see, I was just like tired. And energy is very important around these parts. But because I've had Lee say something, I had Leanne say something, I've had Top Spot. You see, I'm coming up again now. I'm coming up again. Yeah, thank you, Paulie. Exactly. The low vibration does bring you down, and it does. Like, I'm on this app every day, but thankfully I have excellent mods here who always protect the space, and I don't need to be going back and forth in the comment section about, oh, so-and-so said something about me. I don't care. And I know that the mods also have my back, and they have you guys' back as well, because we don't allow discrimination between people on the panel, people in the comment section. It doesn't happen. So thank you so much for the intelligent people who've also come along, who have lifted my spirits again. And we've got another intelligent person here. So Auntie Biscuit, you're next. Intelligence. Let's continue this. Auntie, on the panel, are you there? Going to send you a request to unmute. Are you there, Auntie?
Hello, Foxy. Good morning. How are we? Beautiful. Good to see that beautiful smile of yours. How are we, sweetie? You all right?
Thank you. I'm okay. How are you doing?
Yeah, not so bad, thank you, my love. Not so bad. Really interesting conversation you got this morning. Got to be honest. So I'm Cymraes. I try, AKA Welsh. So the idea of the English going back to Germany is kind of slightly tongue in cheek, but yeah, why not? Because just a bit of background, just something that doesn't get discussed all often. Foxy, do you know what the word Welsh actually means?
What it actually means? No.
It comes from a much older Anglo-Saxon term, which is like Welsherian, and this is what they called us, and it means untrustworthy foreigner, which is what they called us in our own country. Yeah. So it's like racism's been built in from the start, and what my people in Cymraeg call England is we call it Logger. That's Logger, and it means the lost land, because that land used to belong to my people. Because my people, and before anybody starts, I've done genetic background, and I know I'm part of that 5% of Indigenous genetic background. I know that my people once had control over all of that land and territory, and over the centuries, that land was chipped away, and eventually my people were conquered. This is why Wales has more casteths or castles than any other part of Europe, and in fact we've got some of the highest density of castles, which were basically military bases put in place around the world because of indigenous suppression by the Anglo-Saxons. So there is a root issue about the ethnogenesis of the English. Do I blame all modern day English people for it? Absolutely not. There's some wonderful English people, and I call them my friends, and I love them very dearly. But there is a problem from their historical sense that, and I think part of the problem we have right now is that England came out of nowhere, a country which built itself up very rapidly from an historical basis, became a powerhouse militarily, then did an empire. But the trouble is, I think too many English people are still relying on the old rule Britannia rules the waves ideology, and they still think the empire is still a thing, at least in their heart, even if their brain tells them otherwise. And I think that's part of the problem with the modern day English people. And again, no shade on the really good ones, the ones that are intelligent, realize the differences, and realize that they're no longer the number one place in the world. It's a bit like what's happening in America right now. The American century is coming to an end, and they don't realize that America's, excuse the language, Foxy, but slightly fucked. And it's the same attitude that a lot of English people are giving out right now, sadly, that instead of dealing with the innate indigenous problems, such as taxing the rich, making sure that money comes into the local communities, fixing the problems, the establishment has got people blaming everybody else, because if reality struck and the establishment was dealt with as it should be, then we would have a very different political setup in this country. And I'm not even going necessarily after the king there. I'm talking about the City of London under the 1067 Charter, which has allowed it to continue doing what the hell it likes without the control of the people. And I think we need to start looking at this situation properly. And as for, how shall I put this? The British royal family's official dating website is you're never lonely at cousins only.com, for Christ's sake. Because because historically it's all been kept in the family, right, guys? So, which is probably why we voted against in the Commons about making first cousin marriage illegal, because that would make most of the marriages in European royal families illegal, to be fair. But there is an issue there, and it needs to be dealt with. And I think that there are a lot of good English people out there who, the Welsh, the Scots, those who come from other ethnic backgrounds, we can all work together and build a great Britain again, but a different Great Britain, a Great Britain not based upon colonialism, not based upon imperialism, an intelligent, fast-paced, wondrous country, a wondrous land that we can actually just say, here, kids, here, kids, we've left you something good. Build on it, please, instead of doing what we always do, which is cut our nose off to spite our face continuously. And I think that's where we need to look at it.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'll land my plane on that point.
Thank you. You made so many excellent points, but you also just ended with a topic actually I was going to do a few days ago, which is Britishness and what it actually could potentially look like. And Paulie in the comments section has said, well, maybe there needs to be a country rename and a new history actually tied to Britain and what it means. Because again, when you have the erasure of histories and you have the erasure of people who are actually more indigenous to the land, so many things get lost and people still don't understand, especially the Anglo-Saxon people, as to why we're having conversations like this these days. They don't understand a lot. And we have to have real conversations like I tried to do about the disrespect of the Welsh people. And honestly, so what would we actually call you? Because I don't want to call you Welsh. I don't want to call you that. What would we call you?
I am from Cymru and I am Cymraes.
Cymraes, that's it. I even did the accent a little bit there. So.
Yeah.
So Cymraes, like, yeah, that's how I will try to remember to refer to the people, because it is so important for people to know lineage and heritage and ethnicity. And this is the tragic thing about English people. Their ethnicity, heritage, culture, and language is all one thing. It's just all one thing. And they don't have the ability to actually see how beautiful life could be if they actually do accept some of their ancestry, right? If they actually went back and started to look at things a little bit more and be like, oh, let me check out Germany, let me check out Denmark, let me check out the Netherlands, let me check out a little bit more, they would, I think, become a little bit more worldly as people. And I think that's the problem, because their world is so small, living on the island, an island with island mentality, it becomes a problem for everybody.
And that's the thing. It's like when you've got these people running around because they're being forcibly evangelicalized by the Heritage Foundation, who are doing a lot of puppeteering here in the UK right now, and they're saying we're a Christian country. I ask people to look to what we call Salisbury. And the surrounding area and Wiltshire, and look at the Neolithic structures, specifically Stonehenge. Christianity is a colonial religion that was forced upon the peoples that were originally here, who had a very different belief system for thousands of years, a more matrilineal belief system at that, one that didn't burn women at the stake for being intelligent or questioning men, a religion that actually believed in the balance of nature with the people. When we bring trees and nature in around December 25th, it has nothing to do with the birth of Jesus Christ. It has to do with being the shortest day in the Northern Hemisphere and us celebrating nature and life and rebirth. One of the reasons that we have Mother's Day so early compared to the rest of the world is that's a hangover from pagan days, because it celebrates Astralis, which is the goddess of fertility. Astralis, estrogen, the name of the hormone, is the name of the goddess, and that is one of the and that's the thing. So when people say, "Oh, we've always been a Christian land," we have. I'm just going, no, mate, look at the Neolithic structures, look at Stonehenge, look at all of the evidence, the physical evidence that is right here. Go to Cymru, and we have what's called fairy gardens, which are like which are circles of stones that have been here for thousands of years, where we used to go to commune with the natural spirit world.
You see, all these kind of conversations talking about spirituality and paganism, like all of this is my vibe. I do have also a group chat on TikTok where we're being a little bit more witchy these days. Like, oh, I love all this kind of stuff. Like thinking about actually how we're supposed to be connected to the land and the elements. Again, this was until the Europeans came along and then tried to push Christianity and took everybody away from where they were supposed to be. We were so much more freer as people. I talked about homosexuality as well on the weekend, just from the 1500s, how Christianity made it a crime. You know, none of this stuff that we practice and who we were was never a crime until the English got so paranoid in their existence that they wanted to just try and control everybody. So again, like I say, if they want to control everything and they don't want people to live as they live, they can literally go back to Germany and do what they want to do in their own land, I believe, because like we've talked about, is that Britain is a history of indigenous people, it's a history of invasion, it's a history of immigration, and the way that the UK is going, and there is no stopping it, is that multiculturalism is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. So you either get on board with the program or you go back to Germany. That's where you're at. That's literally where you're at.
And one final point before you speak to somebody. And one final point before you speak to somebody else, if I may. If I may, it's like what I find hilarious is all of the images of Jesus that are currently dotted around all the churches and in the books, etc. This very whitey Jesus, by the way, Jesus was a brown man. He wasn't black. He wasn't white. He was brown. He was Middle Eastern, right? And he had dark skin. In fact, if you read the Coptic Bible or you go back to the Ethiopian Bible where there is the descriptors, you can see it. The strange thing is that all modern day Christians are worshipping an image of Jesus that was Michelangelo's boyfriend that he had painted on the Sistine Chapel. So it's kind of ironic. They're literally worshipping Michelangelo's gay lover while simultaneously condemning the LGBTQ plus I community. So yeah, I think I'll have my plane on that point. Thanks, Foxy. Appreciate you, love.
You too, Auntie Biscuit. Thank you so much. It's always a joy and a pleasure to hear from you. I love it. I love it so much. Thank you. So we're going to move now to Ibrahim. Ibrahim, how are you? Anglo, you're very itching. Let me explain first to Anglo how my panel works. Anglo, you must wait your turn. Please don't unmute. Okay, please don't unmute because I'm coming to you. You see, everybody else is waiting very patiently, but for some reason, the Anglo-Saxons can't respect how people run panels. They can't control their mouths. And Anglo-Cell, you're proving the point right.
Can I ask where I'm in the queue?
You're always proving the point right. So wait, because everybody else is waiting. If you unmute and talk again, you will be dropped because you've been muted 3 times now, I think already. Okay, Anglo-Cell, everybody heard me say it. Specifically to Anglo-Cell, he can't unmute, otherwise he'll get dropped. Please be patient. Try your best. I know you people struggle to do it, but I'm rooting for you, Anglo-Cell. I'm rooting for you. Just wait. Right, okay, we've got Ibrahim next. Ibrahim, how are you?
I'm all right.
Good. So this is the topic. Should the English go back to Germany? They want everybody else to get out of Britain, but they're not from Britain. They're not indigenous to Britain. So doesn't that mean that they should go back to Germany? What do you think, Ibrahim?
Technically speaking, they are indigenous.
Oh Lord,
because they've got a root. And
I ran out of I ran out of my energy for these dumb conversations. Technically, they're indigenous. Stop using words that you don't know what the meaning is. You're not indigenous to Britain.
Fox.
Leanne.
Wait, Fox, a second. You dropped him too quickly. I was going to block him. Did you see the cosplay of a black Nigerian in his DP? Oh my gosh.
I'm tired. There he is. You can go and do it now if you want to. Ibrahim.
Where?
There, in the comment section. If you want to block him, go ahead. You're more than welcome to block him. I dropped you because I don't have the energy to explain basic topics of conversation. Top spot, yes?
Yeah, excuse me, sister, but I think such people, leave them there. And you are 2 people, so one of you guys can bomb him with questions so that he'll realize that he's not on top of the issue. You see,
Uncle. The white man had a Nigerian DP. We're not. No.
Anyway, I mean, you see, this kind of topic is somehow foreign to especially many black people. Because you see, if you even go deeper into the English history, and especially England, you see that even the Moors who came there earlier, the Moors came there earlier than even the English people into England.
I think what Leanne was getting at was that actually wasn't a black person. They were a white person pretending to be black. And that's what happens sometimes, unfortunately, around here. I mean, I've been fooled many times as well until someone says, oh, actually, that's a white person. And you see, this is where white people, this is another conversation with white people pretending to be black. Because we don't
this is Eurocentric view. And Eurocentric views come from the Anglo-Saxon ideologies. And this is what is creating racism and all these things. Yeah, it is known. Unless, if you don't know them because you are not really busy with the topic. And you don't want to understand how the world functions. So let's allow the people, and I don't know. Me, I'm done. I'm going to work.
All right. Thank you so much, Top
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. Okay, we're going to go to Bagahara. How are you today? Hello. Did I send you an unmute? There we go. Barugahara. Hello. There you are.
Yeah, sorry you had muted me.
How are you
good
today?
morning. Right. I'm good. I like your hair, by the way.
Thank you.
Good. I'm going to be very quick. The English don't want to go back to Germany. In 1914 to 1918, they fought a very bitter war. Many died resisting the German advances. That is a proof they don't want to go back to Germany. They had another go in 1940 to 1945. They fought very hard. They don't want to go back to Germany. Let's be clear about it. Now, since the formation of the European Union, the English have been resisting Germany, not because the Germans are bad people. It's because the Germans are more smarter at producing things. They got a better economy. They should be flocking to Germany because Germany is a successful economy. But guess what? They don't want to go. They are so hung up here. These migrants want to stay here. Let's be clear about it. That is all I have to say, ma'am. I'm at work, so allow me to go back to work.
You're going to get for that one, and I don't think I've done much. That was so funny. That was excellent. That was so funny. They've literally, yeah, it's true. Because imagine how, if World War II ended up, right, so this is always the most ironic thing, right, is that English people always say, well, if it wasn't for us, you'd be speaking German. Like, English is a Germanic language. This language still came from your people. So if Hitler managed to win, what would the world actually look like for English people? They would actually be more indigenous. They actually would have probably had a better life, actually. They actually probably would have had a better life. They would have actually been more integrated with their culture, with their food. They actually would have had a culture. They would be eating bratwurst. They'll be singing their songs musically. You know, they would. And actually, of course, from the Denmark as well, they'd have their culture. And from Netherlands, they would have a culture. They would. So imagine a world if the English didn't, if the British didn't win. Well, they didn't win. It was the Russians that actually run the war. But, you know, anyway. Yes.
Let me make it very clear. Britain was carried to Berlin on a medical stretcher by the Germans, by the Americans and the Russians. Britain was knocked out. It was literally carried to Berlin on a medical stretcher by the Russians and the Americans. So when we hear Britain won the war, it's not true. They did fight, let's be clear about it, but the bulk of the fighting was done by the Russians and the Americans. And the Chinese, by the way.
Well,
Let's not forget the Chinese.
The Americans came in at the end when they're already winning. They actually joined the war very late.
No. That is what they would like to tell us. But Russia took the brunt of the German aggression.
Yes, for years.
The Chinese took the brunt of the Japanese aggression. And sometimes we don't think of China. China sacrificed a lot. And that is erased. It is assumed it's America that won the war in the East. I think China needs to be given the credit. If you look at the amount of Chinese that died during the war, their war began in 1937, long before Britain was invaded, or at least war declared on Germany. So we need to give credit to the Chinese contribution to the defeat of the fascism.
This is what happens when you know a little bit of history, right? My battery is down to 6%. My battery is down to 6%.
Battery's down to 6%, so holding on.
NSWP, please don't unmute yourself. We have a panel. Clearly, there's lots of people waiting way before you. How I run is that we don't talk over each other. I'll introduce you when it's time. Someone in the comment section says, well, it's West Wing 119. It's not host nation to give away. She's just a guest. Does this say anything about giving Britain away, giving land away? Like, really, comprehension? This isn't about giving anything away. This says, should the English go back to... Oh, it says, it should be two. It says, go back Germany. I didn't even spell it right. Go back Germany. It's asking the question.
That's why we understood you.
Your lineage is from Germany, okay? So we're asking the question if you should go back. You either can say if you want to stay. Okay, we got some questions about that. But if you want to go back to Germany, cool. We'll say bye-bye, baby, goodbye. And we'll be quite happy about it, I think. Okay, and then we're going to go now to West Girl. West Girl, how are you? West Girl, I'm going to ask you to... There you go. Yes, how are you? Sorry, I just pressed it at the same time as you. West Girl.
Oh, I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So this is the topic. Should the English go back Germany?
I just want to say, for anything, I absolutely love what we just found out about the picture of Jesus being Michelangelo's gay lover.
Yeah.
That's actually made me so happy.
I just want a long time. I remember hearing it years ago. But you know how when you hear a fact, sometimes it just goes into the oblivion because there's so many things to think about. But that's definitely a conversation that needs to keep going in the mainstream. Yes.
Yeah, I won't go on too long. I just wanted to say, in my small hometown up north, I was sex trafficked, and I just what they've done, where they have seen people finally talk out about the corruption and the reality of stuff, and then they have cherry picked like situations of grooming gangs that they happen to be Pakistani, and they have then only talked about those situations, and they have like rised everybody up and done what they always do, which is take a problem, which is it isn't a majority a problem because of that. Do you know what I mean? It just really isn't. That's not the reality of the situation, and everybody's just taken to it. Everybody's just eating it up, and it's just like when I first heard people, speaking out, and like I heard this coming out. At first, I was like, "Oh, great! Maybe people will listen to and address the problem." But they didn't, because the propaganda just completely seemed to work for so many people. And they're just, pushing it back on to immigration. Like they do everything. We all have the same fucking enemy. Really, don't we? It's not fucking like people that are escaping wars that the same people that are our enemy, really, the people like above us, have fucking had a huge part to play in anyway. Do you know what I mean? I won't go on and on anyway. I can't say for too long, but I just thought, that's all I wanted to say, really. I just went, the people that with me, it was
a million sorries to you, West Girl, about everything that's happened. I think people don't actually understand how horrific it is to experience what you have. I don't think that there's enough knowledge still in the mainstream because of what you've said. Unfortunately, there is this distraction about the Pakistani G gangs that people like yourself don't get time to be heard anymore, and that fucking breaks my heart. It really breaks my heart so much, like so much. And when you were talking, like these guys know, I'm an empath, so I'm gonna cry a little bit thinking about.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to.
Please don't ever apologise. Don't ever apologise. You've been so vulnerable here with this bunch of strangers, and so thank you so much. But what we're talking about.
I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, what we're talking about is Englishness, and we've talked a lot about English men and English men's behaviour, and of course they're the reason why we're having this conversation now. It is they're not willing to understand what they've done historically and what they do presently. We've talked a lot about DV, we've talked about SA within families, within communities. We've talked about all these kind of things, and it just makes me query and question now in my mind, if I'm asking the English to go back to Germany, am I going to ask somebody like yourself? No. Let's do a clause in this, right? Let's do a clause. All the English men could go, every single English man could go back to Germany, like every single one, and they could get to stay if they do the
Can we stay here, please?
Yeah. If they can say, right, they go back to Germany. The women, though, if you've had some experience,
I don't want to go with them.
You stay in Britain. You get to stay in the future of Britain. You get to integrate because you do that. You're going to be honest. You're going to be of the future. This is what the future of Britain needs to look like, right? So the women who have literally had stuff like this happen, the children, all women and children get to stay actually. But if you're a woman, right, and you're still trying to work for the patriarchy, you have to go back in the system because you won't get deported. It's the men who have been deported. The women all stay. If you end up doing some work for the patriarchy, or if you're racist, you're ableist, you're homophobic, you get put back in the system and we decide whether you can actually integrate back into British society. I think that's how we're going to do it, guys. I think that works. Yeah.
That's so nice.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a good
Thank you.
future.
I appreciate that. I would definitely vote for this clause 100%. 1,000,000%. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. I'll just say, like, obviously I'm not taking away from what happened to those girls. I know some of the victims. I've been quite outspoken in my own community before all that came out, which ended up with me being homeless because I had to leave and stuff. Because back then, like 10 years ago, it wasn't really understood. Now it is, and I'm like actually seeing my mum right now in my hometown. But but even whatever, obviously I would never want to take away from what did happen in Rotherham and stuff. But the bottom line is like the ratio that they've tried to display. If you even do a few Google fucking searches, you'll see the truth. Yeah. And I think we all know it. So anyway, thank you.
I will do a live about that, specifically about the G gangs and PDF rings. Like that will be the topic, because I've done a bit of research on it and actually looking at how the G gangs have the fact that they've had to call them G gangs because they don't want to put brown people in the PDF. Because if you Google paedophilia, it's all white men. But now they've had to say, oh, do you know what? We're going to make sure that it's a brown issue. We're going to give it a separate name because then when you Google G gangs, it's brown men. So they think that that's the problem. We'll have a separate conversation about that. Thank you so much. Right, unfortunately, guys, I am going to have to end it because I've got 3% battery. But it's literally been holding on. I've been on 8%, you guys know, for a long time. It went down to 7%. My phone is also heating up. So I'm going to have to lend it, unfortunately. Do you know what? Anglo-Cell, if you can do something real quick, because I know you've been itching, you want to be like, English, blah, blah, blah. So let's have a little bit of a
Jesus is God, bye.
And then we finish. I just said Anglo-Cell. Yeah, quickly.
I would just ask, why would the English leave the nation that they built?
Do you understand the reason why this is the question?
Yeah, but why? Why would they have to leave the nation they built?
Why is this the question, first of all? Let's try and think. Why is this the question on the screen?
You're refusing to debate. You're not answering my question.
They didn't build it, so your question's invalid.
Anglo-Cell. So are you saying now, because, I mean, literally, there's a lot of Pakistanis in the UK, right? But you're asking there, and they built. There's a lot of Caribbeans in the UK, but they built. Black people, they built. Everybody's built.
Yeah, but...
Okay, we've built.
But since...
Our cultures and our communities have also built. Built more than you, actually. More than you.
Up until 19...
And you stole as well. So you did all these things. But you're asking everybody else. You're asking everybody else to go back to where they come from. So
but up until 1951, we had a 0.1% population of non-white people.
Please,
so how does that work?
Anglo-Cell, do you think... Oh, God, 2% battery. 2% battery. Anglo-Cell, after the Second World War, how many people do you think actually was able to build? After all the millions that actually were dragged to their unalivement, how many people do you think were still alive, out of hospital, actually putting bricks and mortar and doing all the jobs? How many people do you think?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know exactly, but I do think it's gonna be a lot.
The fact of the matter is, you still had a high population of white people, but you didn't have a high population of active white people. Anglo-Cell. That's why
it's hard to make that argument straight after a war,
isn't it? We ended up in the UK. We didn't invite ourselves. Do you know how far Grenada is? Do you know how far our countries are?
Fox.
Do you know? You don't even know. You don't know how far our lands and our islands are. You don't know about the invitation. You're now brainwashed to think that we actually chose to come to the island of misery when all of our ancestors were fucking miserable.
I don't think you chose to come here.
They were all miserable on your damn forsaken, cold, dark, and miserable bitter land. We were so sad there, but we stayed. Because why? Because we were so brainwashed and so colonized by the British Empire and by the royal family. It felt like an honor because it was, hey guys, it's the Commonwealth. You're doing this for Queen and country. Like you as well, your ancestors also felt proud to go to this Anglo-Saxon war that you were fighting. Yeah, guys, we're doing it for Queen and country. Even though, again, you all got unalived. So it's the same mindset.
You're running a bit of a red herring now.
Not at all. Right, 2% battery, guys, I'm out.
Yeah, you're running a bit of a red herring. That didn't look very good for you, Fox. That didn't look very good for you at all.
Anglo-Cell doesn't even know what red herring even means.
As a Welsh person, I want my land back. As a Cymraes person, I want my land back.
I support
so
you.
So don't talk nonsense.
I support the Welsh. Go get your land back. Sorry, the Cymraes. I support the Cymraes. I support the Scots. I support the Irish. Go get your land back, guys. I'm with you. Right, 2%. Guys, see you later. Enjoy yourself. We'll be back on same time tomorrow. Bye. See you later. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Mods. Thank you, Auntie Biscuit. Sorry, Commander, I couldn't get to you. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you, everybody. Bye.